What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Open Field. You see the guys up here as always. Let me throw that link in the chat for y'all. So if y'all want to come and get your takes off, it's here for you. Make sure y'all come in. We want to hear some new takes, some new people. Definitely. That's why we got Open Field. Try to come up here and cook one of these boys. Now, before we get into the show, I want to make sure I shout out our GOAT members. Shout out to Comatose in the Clutch, Cobra Son of Raditz, and SecMat. If you want to be a part of Players Choice community, y'all already know the vibes, what you got to do there, or the information you know. All you need is in the bio. Deck the Halls is coming up December 23rd. We are T-minus 22 days away. Ticket versus Chill. Throw your predictions in the chat. Mars versus Dub, December 23rd. Deck the Halls event. Gonna be awesome. Make sure y'all put your predictions in the chat. We definitely know what you guys think about. That is gonna go. But with that being said, Random, it looked like y'all was already in bit of a conversation before I got in here. So definitely allow y'all to hold that down and continue that conversation. Do you want to enlighten us on what y'all was talking?
So yesterday I said the Jags are just the AFC version of the Lions, and Riddell took issue with that, and I just named a whole bunch of similarities why the Jags can't be really good teams. So when they lost to the Chiefs, when they lost to the 49ers, when they lost to all these good teams, you throw up the Bills, acting like the Bills they're not even in the playoffs right now. They're not a good team this year.
They beat the Bills, they beat the Texans, they beat the Steelers.
Okay. Then you do that. Then you say the Texans waxed them earlier in the season.
They still beat them recently. What? That's not
they barely beat them.
What are we talking about?
You're just getting mad because you have this freaking thing where you want the Lions to be.
There's no getting mad. You're just not making a point right now. You said
I have made a point. You just don't like it. Now you're being stubborn. Hold up. My bad. You just disagree. My bad. Let me just go that. You just disagree.
Okay, you're just chatting now. Okay, that's not good. That's not a good.
No, because
you better rebuttal.
Random. Is it fair to assume that because they got off to a bad start, they made some mistakes early, and then they
Wait.
Gotcha. And then they also had some big injuries throughout the year, and then because of that and the momentum of their losing, they've just been underperforming.
Wait, number one. Before you go, Random, this is the thing that I'm not mad at what you just said, but we can use excuses like that for every other team. And here's my problem with the Jags. Number one, Jake Browning played great. All right, credit to him, but he played lights out. That's not just Jake Browning as a player. That's the entire Bengals team. Being prepared for this game, being well coached, showing up. When you have the number one quarterback on your team out, when you have Joe Burrow out, there's no reason why Jamar Chase should have 157 yards. Matter of fact, there was plenty of receptions at the beginning of that game that did not account really for anything. So the fact that he got that many yards too is just embarrassing. That's an embarrassing performance from the Jags. This is my problem with the Jags. This is my problem with the Jags is that they don't play complimentary football, guys. They don't play complimentary football whatsoever.
That's janky.
It's always janky. And if you want to win in the playoffs, you have to play complimentary football. And to me, they don't do it. I've seen the Lions play more complimentary football than they have with the worst schedule. Granted,
the Lions are also the better team of the two.
I'm not even mad at.
They run zone the whole damn game.
Their secondary
is terrible on third downs. It's just the recipe for a bad team, man.
The Jags, I don't know what's going on because Josh Allen was cooking, especially at the beginning of the year. And there's definitely this pass rush has cooled off. They don't really like the blitz much, which is unfortunate. And Trayvon Walker, he's just not it, bro. He's just not it. And what was he? The number one overall pick. So he
over
should
Aiden
be.
Hutchinson.
Yeah, imagine if they got Aiden and then Josh Allen. It's ridiculous right now. But overall, the situation regarding the Jags, I agree that they're not playing to their level as of right now. Their defense was never supposed to be their carrying force. And ever since Doug Peterson, I'll start allowing what's his name, Press Taylor, to start calling plays, that offense has been so weak, bro. I'm saying he's one of the worst OCs in the NFL because when you watch the Jags,
my bad.
When you watch the Jags, yes, the run game is doing what it's doing, but their plays are not dynamic. He didn't even know how to use Calvin Ridley in combination with Christian Kirk most of the year. He has to pick one or the other who wants to cook. And finally, the last 2 weeks, Calvin Ridley started doing something. So this team I still have a lot of faith in, but if Trevor Lawrence is obviously not playing, then it's going to be a high ankle sprain. But
here's what I want to push back on. Here's what I want to push back on too. I'm not saying that the Jags are a bad team. They're not a bad team, but they remind me a lot of Cowboys teams in the past years where they have some talent. It's not all put together correctly. And here's the thing. If we're going to keep it objective, the Jags peaked hot. Like, they peaked early They didn't peak. I'm not saying they peaked as a team, but, they went off earlier than people expected, okay? And I think the hype was just a little bit too much. Now, I'm not knocking Trevor as a quarterback when I say this, but, as a team overall, with exact same thing with the Lions to me. Their overall position groups as a whole, none of them move me enough to be like, okay, the only thing that moves me, honestly, on the Jags is their run game because of ETN, but they literally don't utilize it enough. They should have utilized it way more in that game. I don't really I know Etienne might have got 18 carries. To me, it wasn't significant enough. And there's a lot of plays where they're relying on their pass game, their short passing game with Trevor Lawrence, who's not that quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is not a pocket. He's good in the pocket, but what I'm saying is, in this point of his career, the best plays that he makes are on the run, rollouts, play action. So I think if the Jags had more of a consistent run game, had a second running back behind him that was good, you're able to use that more and then use Trevor Lawrence off of play action, I think he would have looked a lot better this year. And I just think, as a whole, I just don't think it was enough.
I ain't buying that, Mike. I don't the weapons to be a pocket quarterback.
I don't see
the weapons.
But he's not buying that. He's not there in his progressions yet.
That's play calling and the fact that the offensive line is just not good. The Jags do not have a good offensive line.
You're making it seem like they have a bottom tier offensive line. It's mid. We have to accept that T-Law's never
Jags don't have a good old line. Let's
let me finish.
Very clear on this. They don't have a good old line.
Okay, what are you saying? They're ranked 27th? Relax, bro. They got a mid offensive line. Relax. All right. I don't understand what's so bad about. Please let me finish. I don't understand what Riddell, especially you have such a problem with saying they're just the AFC version of the Lions. They're not. They're at least a year away. They're not good enough. They haven't shown that they're good enough to beat the great teams in the NFL. They just haven't. You can throw the Bills all you want. The Jags.
They beat the Bills though.
Oh, please.
You've been talking about we all know. No. Wait. Can I say this about the Bills, though? And I think y'all will all agree with this. As mediocre as the Bills have been, they're also a team that for every game that they've lost, they could have won all them games too. They can still beat anybody, bro. The Bills can still beat anybody.
Okay, J-Rob, I can find another team and say the exact same thing. They're not a good team this year.
Can somebody give me a quick?
So J-Rob, this is what
the Bills were 3-1 when the Jags beat them, by the way. So just put that up.
Yeah, I look at the Bills. I still look at beating the Bills as I still think beating the Bills is a quality win.
They lost it.
Is the Bills not a quality win?
They blew out the Dolphins on week 3 just before the Jags beat them.
What have they done since, Riddell?
The old line was out.
What have they done since?
J-Rob.
I mean, I still stand the Bills.
What is their record? What have they done since? Answer the question.
I'm not disagreeing. The Bills are whack. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I still think the Bills. I mean, listen. The problem is the Bills are playing up under their standard, but I don't think any of us truly believe the Bills are just. I don't think that's a cakewalk team to beat at any point.
I'm not saying they're a cakewalk team.
They just frauds. They just frauds.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still a good win because
it's still a good win.
I'm not saying the Bills are. I'm not saying the Bills that's cakewalk team to beat.
Right.
But when you've seen a team this year, especially, and only this year, they're just up and down. The same team that went 14-9 needed two times the refs wore blinders to beat the Giants. And we all know the Giants are booty cheeks. Okay? And then the next week, hold on. And then next week, they lose to the Patriots, who only have 2 wins.
Or is it moving butt cheeks?
So I'm not going to sit there and you're going to tell me that they're a dominant. They're just not a good team this year.
They're not a dominant team, Random. They're kind of boomer bust this year. They can literally,
in my opinion,
anybody
they're
and
mid.
Everybody.
They're mid. They're mid.
Facts. In my
opinion,
calling the Bills mid is so disingenuous.
They're
standards.
Because
they are mid right now, though. They are. No. They are mid right now.
In terms of In terms of talent and
their offense is good.
None of us here think the Bills are.
What are the results of all that talent, Riddell?
Yeah, I don't want to call the Bills mid. I don't want to call the Bills mid. They're mid in the sense of what they're doing.
No,
Yeah,
they're
mid in the sense of what they're doing.
All I'm
They have
looking
low
at
lows and high highs.
all I'm looking at is what they've done this year, and you're telling me that is a good team. What they've done this year.
Random. Wait.
Hold on, the Bills.
Wait.
Hold on. Everyone been talking. I've been staying quiet.
Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead, Jamie.
I think the Bills are one of the best 6-6 teams I've ever seen. A lot of their losses have been incredibly close. They're incredibly talented on all the skill positions. Their quarterback is still top 5 in the league. They have a good number 1 wide receiver. They're perfect. They're one.
Stop. That's disingenuous.
Wait.
Jalen is talking true.
Hold on. Yo, y'all gotta let him get through his take though before y'all get to interrupting him. Let him get his take.
He finna get through it. I'm
I'm saying a lot of their losses have been one possession games, one throw here, one field goal here. So again, when I say they're one of the best 6-6 teams, they're again, from what I can remember, a team after 12 games, this is one of the best 500 teams I've ever seen. Again, still talented. If they get in the playoffs, no team wants to play them. If they make a run in the playoffs, I don't think anyone's shocked. If they beat Kansas City in the playoffs, no one is shocked. If they beat any of these, and if they beat the Ravens in the playoffs, no one is shocked. So I think the Bills are a very good team. But you're right. For this season, have they been mid? Technically, yes. But do I think that their talent in the skill positions and their upside is a lot more than mid? 100%. And I think everyone agrees with that.
Look at me with all the
Manny,
time.
go ahead, Manny.
Let me say this, and then I'll shut up for 1 second.
Yeah, after you go, let Manny go because Manny has something he wants to say.
Yeah, Manny. I want Manny to get up. I just wanted to address this. Okay, the Bills, yes, they're not a bad team, but okay, when you look at their position groups, they have Stephon Diggs. Okay, they have James Cook, solid. Stephon Diggs is top 5 right now. James Cook, solid. Their offensive line is bad. Let's just keep it objective. It's bad. It's not good. Their defense is horrible, and they have their 2 best players out. So to sit here and say that the Bills are mid, yes, they have a great quarterback. But we've seen he's thrown so many picks this year because he's had to carry their team. That makes them mid.
Well, he was throwing picks before he had to carry them.
We agree that they're better than what their record shows. We can at least agree on that.
Manny, before you go, I do want to say, chat, don't let Michael fool y'all. That boy throwing picks because he's making bad decisions, not because he's doing a carry job. So don't let Michael try to lie to you. He's throwing picks because he's making bad decisions. So I just want to make sure y'all put that out there. Now let Manny go. I didn't like that. You can't just say that he throwing picks because he's trying to carry, bro. No.
But he's leading the league in picks though. That was my point.
He's been leading since he entered the league in interceptions. That's what he's been doing. Go ahead,
this is an outlier season for him though. Anyway.
I think that the thing with the Bills is like, to me, I don't think the Bills are a mid team. I think for you to say it's mid is like, because like at the end of the day, they got close losses. I understand that they lost to the Patriots. You know, they had a close one with the Giants. A lot of people had close games. Every Raw has had close games. The Bills, if you watch Josh Allen, he carries them. It's very true. And Jalen, I want to know, besides Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, who's elite at that skill position?
I think James Cook
elite.
You think Gabe Davis is elite?
Hold on. All right, blow the whistle. Gotta ask a question. I gotta ask a question.
Talk about their defense. I mean, they're 12.
Let's ask. Can I ask you a question though? Can I ask you a question, Manny? This is for you to elaborate on.
Pass rush, maybe.
I gotta ask you a real question. How many teams legitimately have multiple elite weapons outside that aren't named San Francisco and not named the Eagles? No team is going to have multiple elite weapons.
The Bengals.
The Bengals. Those are
I can name a couple. All
right. So then, and this is my question now, is because what is y'all definition of elite? Because now when we talk about elite, I think y'all giving because T. Higgins is good. T. Higgins is a great receiver. He's not elite.
He's not elite. That's fact.
T. Higgins is a great receiver. He's not elite.
He's not elite.
You can argue elite number 2.
Tariq Hill is nice.
So Jalen
not elite. Jalen Waddle's not elite.
So y'all gonna tell me that these teams? Okay, I'm gonna do this.
You elite word. You don't think we're losing it?
Man, if Jalen Waddle was elite, they wouldn't have gone Tyreek Hill.
Huh?
Who has 2 elite receivers?
I think the closest person to have 2 elite receivers, the closest guy is either Jalen Hurts,
you don't want to say,
maybe.
You don't want to say,
and maybe, and maybe if you look at Debo and Ayuk, how you look at them, but there's not really too many elite players in the league.
It's not about
elite
top
is
10?
when you say somebody is elite, in my opinion, and this is why I think we use elite too loosely. Like I think when you go to the elite word, there's really only like a few guys I think could be
10 of them,
elite.
maybe.
There's star level players for sure, but I think elite is being used a little too loose because
Manny, I think the best way to kind of frame it, because I want to give you a little leeway, because I do agree with J-Rob, is relative value. So T. Higgins being a number 2 is elite. Devontae Smith being number 2 is elite. So if you're going like that,
that's what I mean. But that's what I mean.
That's what we're saying.
I think Devontae Smith, though, I will give Devontae Smith.
Smitty's elite.
I think if Smitty was a true one somewhere else, I think he'd be an elite.
Wait, time out. Last time I checked, for the past 2 years, when I telling y'all Devontae Smith was a
I like Devontae. I think he's a wide receiver one.
Bama, you must know, I like skill set over production. I'm one of those.
Facts.
I'm skills. I like
how long though? But how long can you feel like that if it's not matching the production?
Well, yeah, of course. I give you.
Because I ain't gonna lie, Manny. That logic to me is how we start looking at how we look at quarterbacks, bro.
Yeah,
we can't. I think sometimes we almost overvalue talent over the production part. I think Devontae Smith let me think of a team. If he was on the Arizona Cardinals, he'd be an elite wide receiver. He'd be elite.
But you can't just say that because he ain't never faced one-on-one coverage with the best corner.
Yes, he did. Before AJ Brown got there. Before AJ got there, he was great. He wasn't good. You don't think he could beat one-on-one coverage?
You lying.
He wasn't
You chatting, man.
Oh, watch this. If Devontae Smith was so elite, they wouldn't have been pressed to get AJ Brown.
Stop.
No. That's not fair. That's not fair. Okay, so why did that's like saying the 49ers, if they were so all in on Nick Bosa, they wouldn't have brought in Chase Young.
Because you know why?
Or they wouldn't have drafted
good.
It's okay. It's okay. Hold on, but it's okay for teams to be greedy, though. Is it not okay for teams to be greedy at times?
All I'm saying is this. I'll say this.
I'll say this early.
If you have one elite receiver, a Justin Jefferson, a Devontae Adams, instead of, because you had to pay AJ Brown a big bag. Instead of doing that, if you're smart, I'm going to spread that money around. Instead of getting an AJ Brown, if I have an elite Devontae Smith, I can get 3 other receivers, a Boyd, a Higgins, to go around him. That way, I can save money.
But the Eagles have an elite team already. They already have an elite team.
Can I say?
Well, let Bama go because Bama was starting to talk.
I was gonna say this early. I'll say this. You got a valid point right there. But the reason for this, the reason why they bought AJB over there, don't remember, it was to advance Jalen Hurts' progression for as a quarterback.
Facts.
Sometimes what you need as a QB is you need a plethora of weapons in order for people. Because I tell people this, when you see them passes like with Mahomes and Burrow and Herbert and all that bending, threading the needle, bro, that's really rare, bro. You just can't.
That's genetic. Yeah, that's genetic.
But he's still
coming in doing it right away. So some quarterbacks, like a Jalen Hurts, hey, we might need a plethora of receivers so I can just start seeing this stuff. Once I start seeing this stuff, now I get it in between the ears, and now, hey, man, maybe we can move on from AJ Brown down the road. Maybe we can move on from Smitty down the road.
He's right, y'all.
That's a great point, Bama. That's a great point.
That's really the only reason for them bringing AJ. And for me, I feel like, like I said, I called the dude Adrian Peterson. I'm going to go say it every time I talk about Jalen Hurts. I called the dude Adrian Peterson. And from what I saw, bro, he's been nothing magnificent of a quarterback. The dude is a leader. He has really took home to that team. I get it, they just lost, bro. But like I said, that move, them bringing him over there, is developed that dude very well. That's just what I like. But yeah.
And before you go, Michael, I just to piggyback off Bama's point, because he brought up Mahomes about the arm angles and their natural talent. But people, let's also remember, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't know how to read coverages until what? Last year, he said?
Last year.
So when you have Tariq Hill out there and Travis
ability.
Kelce game breaking for you, it helps you learn the game. That's what Bama trying to say. Having those elite talents for those young quararbacks, it make the game easier for you. So you can learn the game because at least if you got, I could throw it to Tyreek Hill, and then next time when you got who's number 24 for them? Scott Moore out there. We got Scott Moore out there because he's not the same player as Tyreek Hill. I know what not to do. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with Bama's point right there. That
might be the same situation.
All I'm saying is this.
Because think about T. Higgins and Jamar probably made Burrow's, learning curve in the NFL a lot easier for him too. You look at Justin Herbert, his first 2 years in the league. Tua, it happens to a lot of receivers. So that, to Bama's point, I just want to say you could look at a lot of receivers in that time. Shout out to Bama.
All I'm saying, we saw it happen in Pittsburgh, right? The reason why the Steelers was so easy and so willing to get off of Brown, because they thought Juju putting up 1,400 yards season was legit. Right. Come to find out, when that one-on-one coverage started hitting him and the top corners started hitting him, he wasn't the guy you thought he was.
But this is different.
He always
wait,
no,
it's my turn. No, you good, because I want to
Manny, go right after Manny. Go right after Manny. Go right after.
Perfect point that Early is talking about here, and this is I want to bring it back to Josh Allen and address what J-Rob you were saying about Diggs and his receivers. Yes, I get Diggs is elite. He's been elite. He's been a guy. I'm not disputing that. But when Early's talking about it, the sense of, you need a number 2 that's going to be able to compete and get open with the fact that you have Stephon Diggs bracketed. And all I'm saying is when you have Stephon Diggs bracketed so much, and look, Josh Allen, he doesn't get excuses from me. I don't have him as my second or my third best quarterback in the league right now. But to me, as much as his decision-making is bad, it makes it way worse when his 2 other receivers literally create no separation and Diggs is getting bracketed. It makes the equation so much harder for him. And so with you're talking about how Mahomes is just playing backyard football, if you look at the tape back in the days when he had Kelce and Hill, all I'm saying is like, look, Josh Allen has deficiencies. The Bills need to understand that. And so they need to invest. As much as Brandon Katz is biased, they do need to invest in their offense more. Because if you have Josh Allen throwing so many picks a game that he can't even move the ball down the field, that's your best player. So that's all I'm saying. It's funny. He's funny, but that is a good point from him as much as he is wrong.
Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
But what I was gonna say about Smitty, I see what you did with Juju. I get it, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. Juju can't do what Smitty do, bro.
Oh, facts. Facts.
Listen, I'm be real.
No, let
him finish, Manny. No, let him finish.
I'm gonna tell you right now because
let him finish.
This is the thing with Smitty. Smitty could do anything on the field. His route running is elite. His hands are elite. His separation is elite. His breakaway speed is elite. His yak is good. He breaks tackles like crazy. So for his size, but that's the point. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Smitty, but I get your point with he might not get. Smitty could do it all. Juju's limited. That's why he was that. That's why he was that.
I agree with that.
He's very limited.
But when your production is 1,300, 1,400 yard season, how you gonna tell that person he limited? Like how if you're seeing these stats, these numbers every year, how you gonna say that person's limited?
I understand that's
just like you said.
You might watch the film and say, you know what, he's limited. But if you watch the stat and as a GM,
but early, you also very well as a GM, you may look at the production and feel like that. I mean, that's why the Chargers they watched that J.C. Jackson tape in Patriots. And they thought he was the number 1 corner. I think we all agree J.C. Jackson's not a number 1 corner. I think he works in certain systems, but I don't think you could put him in any system and make him the number 1 corner. In terms of the Juju Smith thing early, I think you also both very much realize that situations matter for certain players. The reason why I think he works so well in Pittsburgh was, first of all, they didn't rely on Juju to be a deep down the field wide receiver. He was very much an intermediate wide receiver who can break a tackle because of his, he's built, he's like 6'1", 6 foot stout and all of that. So I see both. But my question to y'all now, because early you got some explaining to do. You owe Manny an apology. Jake Browning went out there and looked like a franchise quarterback. He was cooking with Crisco. You told us on the show yesterday that we haven't watched football. If you saw Jake Browning, I watched Jake Browning run. I watched him improvise. Did anybody see the scramble where he cut it back and went out of bounds? Looked pretty good to me. Remember, wait, let me finish. Now, for those who don't know anything about Jake Browning, this was a California Gatorade Player of the Year, all-time leader in yards in the Pac-12, broke a bunch of Washington Husky records. I think some of them been broken now by Michael Penix. I think
he got that luck. He got that Washington.
He was a good player. You feel me? Went undrafted, but bro, he was what 32 or 36.
I mean, stat he got the most touchdowns.
He outplayed somebody's favorite quarterback, but that's neither here nor there.
Don't get him started.
Why are we
Do not get him started. Let me tag my cousin Random Man on this one. Dog. Now listen, Sean, you won me a lot of money last night. But my thing is this: if you watch that Jaguars defense, they wasn't getting pressure. Like, I don't give a damn. Listen, J-Rob, I don't care if you're playing quarterback. If you got time in the pocket, dog, you're going to get the ball.
Find something. You're going to find something.
I'm watching him first. Now, listen, you went against elite defense the last couple weeks, right? Or pretty, I won't say elite, but like pretty good defenses, right? And I watched them fold. Listen, what I saw in Jake Browning was he got comfortable. You got comfortable. Mm-hmm. Your confidence started getting high.
Got into a rhythm.
Yeah, you got into a rhythm. That's the Jaguars' fault. You don't, bro. If you're not going to send a blitz on 3rd and 16, 3rd and 15, and you still running zone, 3-man, 4-man rush, and you know you can't get there, that's your defense, dog. That you made Jake.
And you gotta be
I think on one of those
Walker, Josh Allen,
this man against Jamar on one of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, a lot of the times, all he had to do was get the ball in Jamar's hands, and Jamar went to work, bro.
He said the after-catch yards are crazy. After-catch yards by Jamar was crazy.
Yeah.
That line looks a lot better because of Jamar.
I'll admit on this. Doug Peterson, I think he got a little out-coached in this game, because I do think the one thing that surprised me most is that Jaguars D-line. You remember we were talking about how I felt like the Jaguars D-line, the Jaguars defense, they didn't really have no superstars, but they played so disciplined that because they played disciplined into the system, it worked. But yesterday was the first time them not having a game record showed its ugly head, because I don't think they were able to make the adjustments. Now, I like Josh Allen as a pass rusher. I think he's their top guy. He's great. He is great. But the problem is when you have listen, earlier, hear me out. When you have the ability to double team a guy like Josh Allen, and Tavon Walker is not really giving you number one. Yeah, I would say number one pick in the draft type of production. It's easier to scheme him up because you're taking him out the game and you're trying to. So I think Josh Allen can be a game record, but if you can scheme him up to not impact the game, and you're relying on other guys to do it, and they're not, you're screwed.
I truly think. Here's the thing. Let me get this point off real quick. It's what I think. Let me tell you about Doug Peters, right? I truly think what he did is he went to that game thinking that my quarterback is going to score damn near every drive. We're going to just outscore y'all. The same thing he did in that Eagles Super Bowl. If y'all don't remember, it was a shootout. So in his mind, my quarterback is going to get down the field every play, and you got to back up. He's going to mess up at least one time. That's how he went into the game plan. After about the second, once the second half started, and he still will make an adjustment, in his mind, listen, Trevor Lawrence is going to get there. And when they got that pick, in his mind, that's all we need is one touchdown away. What he wasn't expecting was Trevor Lawrence to get hurt. I hope he is a serious.
Well, that's the conversation for Press Box tomorrow, because that's going to be a hell of a conversation.
But what he was expecting was my quarterback is going to have a hell of a game shootout, and he wasn't scheming at all on defense. And it backfired on him because Trevor Lawrence got hurt. And now you're putting CJ, who almost fumbled the first play of the game, you're putting him in there versus a Browning who's been just 3-4 games in. Now he's getting his rhythm, his fourth quarter going. Listen, man, that was just bad coaching and bad game plan on Doug Peters.
Now the Bengals went out there ready. So let me ask y'all about let's move on topic. So we talk about this game for a minute. Y'all, let's get to the title of the show. Are the Chiefs in trouble? Is it time to finally recognize that I don't know if this Chiefs team is capable of just relying on their defense to get them extra possessions? I'll start with Riddell, then Random, then Lonnie.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a Patrick Mahomes guy, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. The Chiefs, it's been long enough. I'm kind of fed up with a lot of things, and I got something that I want to bring up. Obviously, we know that the defense was elite. Like I said, it was going to be top 10. They've been top 10 all year. Tranquil going down was huge because that rookie middle linebacker by himself ruined the defense. By himself, that rookie middle linebacker was absolutely atrocious. He was terrible at every facet when it comes to covering the pass, when it comes to filling the gaps in the run. And obviously, the middle linebacker is the brain trust of the defense. So there must have been some disconnect because there's no blitzes by Spag, or there's little blitzes by Spag, and it was kind of weird. So the defense, I'm sure, will be better once Nick Bolton and Tranquil come back. Tranquil got a concussion, so I'm expecting to come back. But the big question for the Chiefs is the offense. What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
What we need to know is that, unfortunately, if it's injury or just age, Kelsey can't carry. That's one thing that we need to know. Kelsey can't carry right now.
Kelsey might retire.
He can't carry.
We don't know because he got a wifey that makes more money.
Kelsey was double teamed. Kelsey was double teamed. Like,
it don't know. You can see that one.
You watch the film, right.
He can't double team now.
Another part that we got to realize is that, unfortunately, the combination of this receiving core not having a legitimate weapon. Rice is cool, but he's not elite. He's better than average at the very least. He doesn't have yak ability. He doesn't catch on the catching traffic like that.
He's a rookie.
He's not that
boy.
Okay, but that's the point. He's not that guy yet, right? The other pieces, they don't even know who they are right now. MVS doesn't know how to run a deep route for some reasons, and he can't catch with his hands. And Sky Moore is just not a receiver. He just shouldn't be a wide receiver right now for the Chiefs team. And then last thing,
running back.
Matt Nagy is not it, bro. He is not it. Yes, they've been running better, but that's kind of his thing. With Alex Smith, with Kareem Hunt, and with the Bears, he's been a running guy, but that passing offense was always shaky at best, maybe better than average in some instances. This play calling, even though Andy Reid's that guy, it's very obvious that sometimes he lets the guys kind of take control. And with Matt Nagy, this pass game is so basic. They be running screens and checkdowns. And yes, they don't have the talent, but Matt Nagy's not an explosive offensive play caller. This Chiefs offense is very worrying, and I really don't know if they're consensus going to the Super Bowl. I have faith in Mahomes, but yeah, it's shaky.
Right there, do you think it's time to give up the game plan and go with the running game? Because I'm gonna be real with you, Pacheco looking like Marshawn Lynch.
He's a bro, yeah. Pacheco is so
like
nice,
it might
know when I can go, J-Rob.
And let him be a superstar.
They might need to start
leading off. Let Random do his thing.
Demon, man.
So this is where we are. Remember 2 months ago, I said, "Hey, fellas, this Chiefs wide receiver core is the fatal flaw." And what did Riddell do? He does that thing when he doesn't believe you. He looks up and does that big old eye roll.
What?
Yes.
I never said
I
the receiver core was good.
I would like to reclaim my time. I would like to
go ahead, Random. Go ahead, Random. I don't want to.
So now, where the Chiefs are is if you there. This is the same thing that we kind of saw at the end of the Patriots tenure. Maybe Lonnie could speak on this since he was there. You are paying because you paid Mahomes the $500 million. You let Tyreek Hill go to fix up your defense. The problem is, as you make these decisions, you have to see things that you have to be able to anticipate the future, which is tough. That's why when you see teams last for a really long time, there's all these different types of decisions. Let's be 100% honest. The Patriots were lucky because they couldn't pick a first-round receiver to save their life, but they were able to find people in the end. Like, obviously, you go get a Danny Amendola, or you go get you find Julian Edelman at the end of the draft. You somehow college quarterback, you turn into a great receiver. You go find a Wes Welker. So now the biggest problem is there's also been a few departures. Eric Bieniemy is missed. I'm not willing to go as hard on Matt Nagy as Riddell is, but Eric Bieniemy is missed because the one thing we saw it when he was with the Commanders in the preseason when people were getting mad that Eric Bieniemy was coaching too hard. It sounded like Eric Bieniemy was the bad cop and Andy Reid was the good cop. And now that they don't have that, maybe they're not on their P's and Q's anymore. Because even last year, I'm not saying the Chiefs wide receiver core last year was good, but they could at least make plays. They weren't dropping the ball as much. They felt like they were more on their P's and Q's, right? And another person that's missed is Juju. Juju may not have been a number one receiver, but he could get open. And so now you're seeing these things. Now, hopefully, in the offseason, they address this. Do not end up like the Patriots did. Obviously, this is early. Patrick Mahomes is not going anywhere for at least 10 years. But you have to understand that Mahomes can be great. And maybe Mahomes, this is the next development of Mahomes. He has to learn how to win with subpar talent. Because Lonnie can tell you there were some Super Bowl runs Tom Brady was making when none of them receivers would be starting anywhere.
Deion Branch.
So
now
going into the future, obviously this offseason, I think the craziest part is the Chiefs are so easy to game plan about. You double team Kelsey because Kelsey's 34. He shouldn't be carrying your offense. Okay, Kelsey's 34, and unless you have to game plan so hard to get your receivers the ball, adjust. What is your team really good at? The Chiefs are really good at running the ball. Become a play action team because Mahomes also has to accept that. The great quarterbacks just adjust. Okay, we only throwing the ball 20 times today. That's fine because I know I got Pacheco and he's a monster. He's a monster right now. He's running hard. He's running hard like crazy. So you have to adjust. And then next year, you don't have to go get the top end receiver, but you have to get a guy who's able to get open because Mahomes will find them. We've seen that. That's what they're missing.
But I think about the Chiefs, the biggest thing to me is, their offense just isn't dynamic. Like in the pass game, it's not good. The receivers are not very good at all. And then when you look at the run game, yes, it's their best part of their game. But when you have a receiving core that's that bad, I don't think that the offensive line or Pacheco is good enough to carry the load as much as we're talking about to make it to the playoffs.
Even run? Do they need to make
they
it
have
a
to,
play?
they have to use
They don't
Pacheco.
run enough either.
When they run, it's effective. I'm not
they don't run enough either, Michael.
I know.
That's
Let
Michael finish. Let Michael finish, bro. Let Michael finish, bro.
Give him 25
let Michael finish, though.
Pay him at the end of the contract anyway. Give him 25 carries and
random. Let me finish.
That's how you win. That's how you try to win.
Let me finish now.
Random. Let him finish his point.
Random. 100% facts. That was the point I was trying to get to. But my question is that offensive line and is Pacheco dynamic enough to win that way with that receiving core? Because yes, the fact is that could happen. But the receivers still have to make plays. So they finna stack the box. If they can't get out of the stack the box thing, and I'm not saying that Mahomes can't do that, but my thing is the defense is great, the defensive line is great, but the secondary, if they want this to hold up with the offense playing like this, it's just not gonna happen. The defense, it's not like an all-time great defense. Like the way they're playing on offense, they need an elite defense to carry them. And it's a great defense, but because of the secondary who has some guys, I don't think that it's elite, and I think that's just going to serve them problems.
Can I be honest with y'all?
Disagree. I think they're elite.
Can I be honest with y'all? I personally think
they're close.
Blaming Matt Nagy is a cop out, Riddell. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a cop out.
What's up? Yeah.
For one reason, I understand when you look at the play calling, it's hitches, it's a lot of short game, it's not a lot of stuff downfield. But that's all you have. You have limitations. There's clear limitations, and for you to blame Matt Nagy, knowing that there's clear limitations. I mean, we watched the game start the year. One player himself dropped three passes. We watched obviously MVS against the Eagles. Yeah, we watched MVS against the Eagles. The drops by this unit has been constant around this season. Matt Nagy also very much understands I don't have receivers that are consistently getting off man coverage. That's just the God honest truth. Rashid and honestly, I think Riddell, who you need to blame for this, is the Chiefs general manager. At the end of the day, because you had the opportunity to go out there and pay, and if you think that if for y'all to say that, Random mentioned Juju Smith-Schuster being a consistent guy, if Juju Smith-Schuster could excel in this offense, don't let me find what DeAndre Hopkins could have did in this offense.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, I just think because of do I hope that Rashid Rice becomes the receiver that they're trying to force him to be? Because I've never seen a team in my life force feed a rookie to blossom as much as they're giving Rashid Rice the opportunity to be great.
It's the last game, bro.
And more power to him. And more power to him. Because I want that to happen.
Quick thing. Don't forget this, though. I just don't want y'all to forget this, and then we got to let Lonnie go. The reason why they're forcing Rashid Rice is a similar situation with DeAnthony Thomas and Tyreek Hill. DeAnthony Thomas was first. I don't know if y'all remember, bro, and this was my breakout player of the season, but it was Justin Ross. Came back off the back injury, and the nigga ended up getting locked up. Like, I don't know. He ended up starting getting in legal trouble. And that was the weirdest thing.
He was their guy.
He was
their guy.
Like, dog, that was my guy. Y'all saw what he did to Alabama in the national championship. I became a fan. The
oh my God.
Listen, Patrick Mahomes even said this dude catch everything from training camp. They was like, this dude
you see his preseason footage, bro?
Yeah, we just ready for him to heal up and get back better. He come back, bro, and then he start getting in legal trouble. Like, dog, what is going on? So this is a similar thing.
Talking about Justin Ross?
Yeah, Justin Ross. And
well, they used to a nigga breaking out to having legal trouble. Kareem
but this is how the NFL work, though. This is how the NFL work, bro. We'll find another guy just like you, bro, and we'll force him to be what you were supposed to be. And that's what we seeing right now. That's what we see. And that's why I was like, damn, bro, they really forcing this Rashid dude. Like,
facts.
But they forcing Justin Ross off the team, essentially. Like, and that's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But he was a dog, bro.
I think the Chiefs are still the favorite in the AFC.
Lonnie, go after. Go ahead, Lonnie.
Yeah, go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say before Bama did that. Now Justin Ross was probably supposed to be like their breakout person, but then he got in trouble. And they have made attempts, like they were targeting Zay Flowers in the draft. And with the past few years, though, like when we were talking about the Chiefs, it was like, oh, can this defense hold on? Can this defense hold on? Now the defense is the plus, and they probably have like the second worst receiving core besides the Patriots. To be
facts, bro.
So
no, I don't know because I think Bourne.
Yeah,
LSU.
So what? Then they have the worst. Then they have the worst receiving core in the league. So
who you like, Butte?
I like.
Yo, don't ask him a question. Let him finish his take, y'all. God,
no, I was gonna say like Travis can't carry more. Like he's at that age right now with like but like yo, he needs help. And I don't know what they can do now. Like maybe they can like pick up an old guy. Maybe like if Julio Jones gets dropped, maybe they can like they need something. They need something because Rashid Rice can't be your answer. Tony's been like the biggest letdown. He ain't talking on Twitter anymore. We don't see it. We don't see him making posts anymore.
He deactivated that shit.
Yeah, he's just gone. He's just gone.
I think if they use, I think if they use Pacheco, I think if they use Pacheco like as Le'Veon Bell was used back in the day, like David Johnson, where you get him maybe 8 to 10 targets a game, just because you do lack the wide receivers. Put the ball in his hands and see what he can do. In terms of wide receivers, yeah, it's when you have such a weak group of wide receivers, like what J-Rob says, you can't have. I think sometimes Patrick Mahomes still thinks he has Tyreek Hill on his team. You're not going to have game-breaking plays. You're not going to win like that. So I think you do have to dick and duck your way to a win, similar to how kind of the Patriots did back in the day when they didn't have a big, kind of an amazing wide receiver with Tom Brady. So I think with this defense and Patrick Mahomes, they're still the favorite in the AFC. And the pieces, obviously, they're flawed. But again, use Pacheco mode in getting him more targets. And with the wide receivers, just dick and duck your way. Because again, I still think until Patrick Mahomes loses in the playoffs, I'm not betting against him.
Well, I will.
Jalen, wait, real quick. Jalen, you remind me something. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I saw the damn rankings.
You got to cook everybody.
All I gotta say is the top 5 I ain't no problem with. I should have at least been number 6.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Besides early, I'm the best person. I'm the best person here. And y'all just trying to keep Mr. Sexy Red, Mr.
Sexy Red is crazy.
Like, hey, I might not be your
Sexy Red.
I might not be your favorite panelist. I'm your mama's favorite panelist. That's all I gotta say.
Don't worry. Monday could be very different.
A PC, dog. Like you metrosexual, but you get a lot of women. I just see. Listen, Lonnie came through with something spicy. I ain't know what was going on.
Andrew, we've been watching. We've been paying
attention. Shout out to our guy, Sexy. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, you just screwed up, Lonnie. Shout out to our guy, Sexy Red, man.
Sexy Red.
Y'all see the ladies on Anime and Chill. Y'all know what? You don't know what time I'm on.
Hey, shout out Lonnie.
He painted his head in there, fucking bitch. I'm just
shout out.
My bad.
And I have a. I was gonna
get him out. Get him out. Come on, early. Please apologize for your outburst. Early, Purdy.
I deeply
apologize because you. Hey, listen, early. All I'm saying was this. That was crazy. If you get a text about a suspension, that's not on me, gang. That was crazy, though. That was crazy. And I'm gonna let y'all know now, fellas. Suspensions affect rankings. If you're not here, can you compete?
Hey, listen, and you might be right, J-Rob, because they shouting me out over there on the panel, so it might get tough. I gotta relax.
They might be.
I will say this in terms of the Chiefs. I guess the next evolution for Patrick Mahomes himself is, I know it sounds crazy, learning to win with this talent, trying to be more adjustable, because you can definitely tell.
Mahomes, that's not the next step. The next step is go get a wide receiver.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying. Right, no. I'm just saying this. I'm just saying with this team right here. I'm just saying because unless they go find Jerry Rice off the street.
Bro, I got your answer. You
don't need Jerry Rice.
This is what they're rolling with right now.
This year you're stuck. This year you're stuck. But I'm saying next year, bro. Like,
next year, go get a receiver.
This is why I feel like Riddell, you giving him two. You throwing stones at Matt Nagy was also kind of whack. I'm gonna tell you for two reasons. Let me just give you two good reasons why, bro. Two good reasons why. Bad. And I'm not saying Matt Nagy is perfect, but I do think with Mahomes, you can supplement. Like I think if Rodgers had Nathaniel Hackett, nobody will be talking about Nathaniel Hackett as much as they do with the Jets. Same difference, I think, over there in Kansas City. But let's be honest, there was an elite wide receiver who's had his 10th consecutive 1,000-yard season, who could have immediately come to Kansas City and change life. He can clearly
I didn't know his numbers was like that.
Yeah, his numbers are still like that. He can still run. He can still run. He can still run downfield. He still can get over.
Taking a second-round pick for him or something like that.
I think he tied Randy Moss for most consecutive.
He ain't never not had 1,000 yards.
Never since he came in the league. You could have traded, and the thing is, you could have traded for a guy too. Like you could have traded for a guy. You can put the assets out there to go get him. And I'm also, we also need to talk about as well. The Chiefs have been kind of crummy in the first round of the NFL draft as of late. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not it. I mean, we'll to be determined on Rasheed. I still hope he can be one of those guys. I like Karlaftis. I like him, but
he's not.
Is he screaming at me? Is he screaming at me? Not really. Like if I were to redo that draft, he's giving me. I'm giving him like a second, third round grade. To be honest,
they were really high on Zay Flowers this year. If they went up and grabbed him, imagine Zay Flowers would pass.
But not even Zay Flowers. You could have grabbed Tank Dell. You could have grabbed Jordan. You could have grabbed Puka Nacua. You could have went and got who's that?
A lot of guys.
What's the kid out of Arizona who's actually pretty high? Wilson, Michael Wilson.
Even the Bills, that Shakir jet. Even the Bills.
There was a lot of players
that
I think
Javier Wicks on the Packers.
Trent McDuffie was a good pick. My bad, chat. Yes, chat. Trent McDuffie was one of them.
They could have got Jalen
Hyatt.
Go ahead, Riddell.
So, I want to be clear. I said when I'm talking about Matt Nagy, I'm talking about in combination to what this wide receiver room is.
Right.
But you know what? I definitely need to speak up more on how bad this receiving core is because I am 100% with you. I'm also with you with the GM stuff. Like they getting way too cocky, thinking that they could just throw this out and Mahomes could fix everything. They're getting too cocky. But this receiving core is so bad. They think that MVS doesn't know how to run a deep route properly, can't catch with his hands. Trash. Sky Moore is way too short to be doing a fade route. What are we doing? Like he can't catch. Bad. Justin Watson, all he can do is run a corner route and he can't catch. Bad. Rasheed Rice, like I said, he's good. Kadarius Toney, he did all that great stuff last season. After the first game, he sucked so bad. All he does is gadget plays. He can't even get on the field to play wide receiver anymore because he's been bad. This receiving core is atrocious. I said this, they might not even have like a top 75 receiver on their roster right now, and that is disgusting. This is terrible. So you know what? I need to cook them more. You're right, Jared.
You gotta cook. I just think we don't give a lot of credit to these front offices for being trash. My bad, Bama. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh no, who's that? Go ahead.
So you just have to understand that the thing that legitimately ended the Patriots, where Tom Brady left, was the fact that he felt like he was not getting supported on the offensive side of the ball. Whether or not it was him in 2017 trying to sneak trade Gronk out of there, and Gronk had to threaten retirement because Tom Brady's like, I need somebody. You can't take away him from me, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it was the Chad Jacksons, Lonnie can tell you, the Chad Jacksons, the Aaron Dobsons, the N'Keal Harrys, like you gotta hit somewhere. The Chiefs have to understand you have like it's terrible. It's terrible.
So your Patriots cannot draft King for offense.
No, we can't draft for shit. But that's why I'm worried. I'm worried that we're gonna get like the number 2. We're gonna pick like an O lineman.
That's why I'm sitting there like,
I'm gonna lose my mind.
I get it.
I'm gonna lose my mind. A linebacker, Saskatchewan.
We already talked about the Cole Strange pick and the name stuff, but the Chiefs have to understand. Okay, great, you have the great quarterback. Just because you have the great quarterback doesn't mean everything's fixed on the offensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. So you have to support him with talent. Still, I understand he's making $50 million, and first of all, by the way, he's going to be making the $500 million, and then he just got extended at the start of the year. Mahomes is going to be paid for life, so you have to be able to support him.
He's gonna be losing a little bit too,
especially after in 2 years.
So can I switch?
2 years, like Kelsey could be gone, and then what you have? You hoping Sean Rice is nice in 2 years? Is that what you're?
Can I switch gears? Can I switch gears and you can start our next topic, and then y'all just chime in. My question to y'all is, obviously after the demolition job the 49ers did on the Eagles, obviously I think they'll bounce back from that. So the question is not about the Eagles. My question is about the MVP race. Because I think for the first time that I can remember, and I don't know about you guys, I don't know about the chat, but I haven't seen a MVP race quite like this, where it's like a 5-person or 6-person race, and I feel like every single week there's a new guy at the top of the leaderboard. At week 5, there was 2-3 weeks ago, we were saying it was CJ Stroud. Last week we were saying it was Tyreek Hill. Then we said it was Dak. Then we said it was Jalen Hurts. So Brock I think Brock Purdy was in there to start the year. So my question to y'all right now, the only player I can think from a night-to-night basis who's been consistent at a position all year, I think has been Tyreek Hill.
Except when he's playing the Chiefs.
My question to y'all is, do you think the NFL can really wrap their minds around giving the MVP award to a wide receiver instead of any quarterback, any of the leading candidates at the quarterback position? You can start it off, Brandon.
I will say this. I think if there's any other year for a non-quarterback to win it, it's this year. Mm-hmm. Like you want to talk, even if you want to say consistency was locked up against the Chiefs. We all watched that Chiefs game. I watched at least 3 people follow Tyreek Hill everywhere he went. Whether it was on the bench, whether he was in the blue medical tent, somebody was following him everywhere. So this year, and like you said,
I'll do the same thing.
If he hits 2K, if he hits 2K receiving yards, and you give, because right now, ironically, Brock Purdy is the MVP leader for MVP odds. I cannot legitimately sit there and look at Tyreek Hill or anybody like that and say that there's been another valuable player or best player, however he is, whatever the MVP thing is this season, and say it's not him. Yeah. Because everybody had a chance. CJ Stroud had a chance to switch it. Now Brock Purdy has a chance. Mahomes is out. Like Lamar had his chance. Whoever else you want to throw out, it's Hill every week giving you $150. Like he just catching drags and taking him to the crib. Like I don't know what you're telling me. Like,
well, I don't know, because there's a guy, white boy that toasts the rock over there in San Fran.
You want to know why? Early, I would agree with you. Early, I would agree with you.
Random. I like Brock Purdy.
And Tyreek Hill kept
going. He's talking about McCaffrey. He's talking about McCaffrey.
Oh, McCaffrey.
McCaffrey and Purdy are going to take votes away from each other because they're playing on the team.
And that's the problem with them two. They're gonna cannibalize each other.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, same with Tyreek Hill and Tua. They're gonna take.
No. I ain't gonna lie. I actually don't feel that way because of the 2K. I don't feel that way, Riddell, because of the 2000. And I think in terms of like objectivity, I think the media and the voters hold more weight in Tyreek's value than they do Tua's, because I still for some reason feel like I like Tua. So Bama, don't violate me.
Brother. Don't
violate me. I like Tua, but I do truly think NFL media and NFL MVP voters are going to look at Tua, and they're going to take points away from his MVP case, because they're going to look at Tyreek Hill as the engine to his success. And I think if you listen to the way people talk about it, I think they put more stock into Tyreek than they do with Tua. And I personally think it's a bit unfair, just because nobody crucifies Purdy for utilizing his weapons, but Tua gets a lot of flack for utilizing his, which I don't think is necessarily fair. But
I definitely agree to that for sure. I've already said this, and I'll make this quick so y'all can cook. I said this already, so I'm standing on business. If Patrick Mahomes had a bad game, Tyreek Hill's my MVP. Tyreek Hill, this is the perfect season for him to win it. All the quarterbacks have not been bad, but not been like generational so far in terms of production.
No one has set themselves apart. That's my big problem.
Tyreek Hill breaking a record. He's going to have the triple or close to a triple record. Arguably better season than Cooper Kupp, which I give a lot of value to Cooper Kupp. So Tyreek Hill MVP, I think he should be a lock. And if
a
he doesn't get
white running back
MVP,
being the best running back in the league.
So wait. Can I say something?
Yes, we are. Because there's a
we knew that already though.
There's a 5'7" receiver about to get 2K.
But hold on, time out though. But hold on, early. Don't even listen. We knew Christian McCaffrey was playing like a black man since Stanford, brother. I don't need.
I'm a Packers
play like guard done.
I had no doubts that Christian McCaffrey was not going to do what he's doing in the league. If you watch him at Stanford, bro, they had him returning kicks. He was Tony Pollard in college before Tony Pollard, bro.
Listen, when we let him go, though, J-Rob, when the Packers let him go, the consensus on him was he was cooked grease.
They thought
that was bogus, though. That was
yeah.
He was a bit injury prone. He was.
Your run game was good after you left. To be fair,
you see what happens with and you know what I will say this. You see what happens when you give a running back an offensive line? They stay healthy. Stop putting these running backs behind these bummy old lines. They don't need Saquon Barkley. He be injured, but if you look at Christian McCaffrey, he get a real offensive line. Just the healthiest he's been in his career.
Wait, so I'd like to just can I please just give me my MVP take and then I'll shut up for you guys. I just think, it's honestly, if Tyreek gets the 2K, continues to do what he's doing and doesn't get the MVP, it's egregious to me.
Right.
He's been the most dominant receiver that I can remember in, I don't know, the past 15 to 20 years. I mean, Randy was absolutely ridiculous. No, wait.
AB? Not AB?
Okay,
AB clears.
Okay, but
sorry, your turn.
Calvin Johnson 2016.
I'm not trying to.
Randy Moss 07.
Hold on, Manny.
So this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes I say something and I mean something that a little bit different. All I'm saying is yes, there's guys that you could say were better. That's fine. But he's in the conversation this season as one of the most dominant receivers of all time for one season. And he had his Randy Moss game last game. He's doing things that no one else is doing. And, I just don't know if the NFL can wrap their minds around it, man. I just I look at guys that what JJ Watt says, in an interview. And even he was on his 20.5 season, he was it's a quarter. I think that it should go to a quarterback every season. He literally said that when they asked him.
Right. I watched that.
Can we
so
be
to
honest,
me,
though,
as a league, I think it's right. Wait, please.
Go ahead. I muted him.
I'm just saying, as a league, I don't think they're going to give it to him, and it's sad, but I think that he deserves it. Early go. I love it.
Go ahead, Early.
I was just saying, the nigga, that's so petty. The nigga be number one around here, and this does happen. Goddamn. Goddamn. Number one, and you get treated like this. LeBron James. Anyway, here's my.
I run this thing like Belichick, bro. Even Brady get yelled at, bro. Brady get yelled at.
You won't win without me. Here's the thing. So I just feel like
Tyreek. You walked right into that one, J-Rob.
I love Tyreek. I love him, but y'all he depends on that speed so much. And I'm sorry. That Chiefs game and Philly game, what? It just shows you with hands. Listen, he's amazing.
You want him to crawl? You want him to crawl? Is what you want early?
Let him back. Early, he's 5'8". What do you want him to do? What else do you want him to utilize?
He's not going to be Calvin Johnson. I don't think he's human. Incredible. He's so fast. When Dash was in a race and they told him to slow down so he wouldn't be as fast. I think Tyreek might be superhuman, dog. He's just using his speed to get money. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hold on, this is early. Hold on, this is early.
Wait, are you taking away from his MVP case, or are you saying he's just not as good as the other receivers?
No, I'm just saying that if he didn't get it, don't make it so egregious that oh my God, I can't believe he had 2,000 yards. First of all, the game has added another game.
He's at 1481 right now. Early, he's gonna get 2K before the 17th game.
He's at 1481. I got you.
All I'm saying is that he need a 200-yard game though. He do need a 200 yards.
All I'm saying is that. Through the trenches, your man Christian McCaffrey, dog, is doing something that is what he is doing, that. And it's crazy because y'all talking all this crap about Brock Purdy, he making him. When they give him the love down, Christian McCaffrey, dog, is a one-man wrecking crew over there. And I'll be honest with you, man. That running game gets everything going. It gets everything going.
Did McCaffrey miss
a game? I hear you.
The record.
But 2,000 receiving yards is crazy.
Go before me.
Manny, go ahead, because I do want to get into something
go
else
ahead,
that we have to talk about.
Finish.
Finish. No, go ahead.
All right, so if Tyreek gets 2K, I think you gotta give him the MVP, bro. Like it's something that's never been done. Something that's never been done. I don't care what you're talking about. Something that's never been done. He's an anomaly to the game. But I will say though, I think if he doesn't hit 2K, if he gets like 1900 and he gets like 1900, I don't think he gets it.
Me too.
I don't think he gets it, and I think they give it to Brock Purdy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I don't think that. Go ahead.
Why did they give it to
I'm gonna tell you why they give it to Brock Purdy. I feel like Brock Purdy, even you got to look at this. He leads the NFL in pass rating, yards per completion.
Oh my God!
That's not my reason.
I don't care. Let me finish.
Passer rating, yards per completion.
Okay, but look, that's cool. He leads in all this. That's cool.
All the advanced stats.
And he missed his best 3 players for 3 games, and he still leads in all this.
They lost the game.
They lost all 3. They lost all 3, Manny.
Random. You're missing. I'm
not missing any big point here. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not missing the point, because the award is called the most valuable player, and so to me, that 3-game stretch, unfortunately, I don't care what y'all want to hear. I'm not being a Brock Purdy hater, but that 3-game stretch, it diminished his value as the most valuable player, because if he was the most valuable player, they would have found some sort of way to win.
He put him in position to win.
It don't matter. They lost.
They lost the next game.
They still lost, bro.
I agree with you, but hold on. Here's what you're missing, Jay.
I'm not missing anything. I don't think I'm missing anything. I
agree that Tyreek should win MVP. That's not what I'm debating. Well, we're talking about how the voters do. We all know that voters love the narrative. And here's what they're gonna be saying if the 49ers keep on winning.
Who's been more valuable this year to their team?
I agree.
Brock Purdy, or CJ Stroud have been more valuable to their team. Who's been more valuable to? Has Brock Purdy been for the voters? Early, can you without a shadow of doubt, Manny and Early and Bam? My bad. I didn't mean to cut you. I know you had your hand raised. I'm sorry, bro. Could you, without a shadow of a doubt, tell me that C-Mac is more valuable? Is Brock Purdy is more valuable to that 49ers team than Brock Purdy? I mean, Brock Purdy is more valuable than C-Mac on that team.
No, you can't. You literally can't, because every game he hasn't done well.
I can argue that Trent Williams is more valuable. I can argue that Deebo Samuel has been more valuable. Look, I understand that Brock Purdy's yards, the completion percentage. I'm not going to ever crucify Brock for playing the system the right way and doing what he is supposed to do. However, that 3-game skid, when it was the moment for Brock Purdy to show that he can carry on his back, but he didn't do that. I think voters are going to take that into account. I think to act like they're not is not being real. You know, that's just the fact. It's the most valuable player.
They're gonna be like, oh, he's the last pick in the draft. Look at him carry this team.
He's not carrying them though.
They're gonna go use the stat. Like, we know it's a quarterback award, and we know that they love using these stories to try to push their agenda.
But you can't say that Brock Purdy's carrying
though.
He's not carrying. I'm saying they're gonna be like, oh, he's leading in passer rating. He's doing this. He's doing that.
That's what I'm saying. With the best record.
That's what I'm saying.
Eagles have been exposed.
Bro.
No,
also,
bro. Again, I will say this before y'all go too far with this Brock Purdy nonsense, bro. They still got Lamar Jackson on Christmas. They still got their rivals in the Seahawks, and they still have the Cardinals. Y'all sleep on that Cardinals
if he beat
game.
all 3 of them, another reason why he can be MVP.
Okay, y'all sleep
he
on
can
that
be,
Cardinals
yeah.
game.
He's in the conversation.
Don't be surprised if they go in and get beat up by the Cardinals.
This Brock Purdy MVP taking like
all right. So on top of
it's
that,
not actually that actually won't hit like crack. Don't get
like I said,
that's actually not a good take, Manny. Like, it's not a good take. You read stats, bro, and not being realistic about the award. Go ahead.
This really don't matter. Like I said, I'm just co-host.
That man lost 3 games without the Avengers.
But the reason why I say now that
not what an MVP is, bro.
If
Tyreek Hill break 2K right now up under the situation how they break 2K, if y'all don't understand how Tua runs the offense, bro, he's not really out there force feeding the Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is getting them yards throughout.
He just takes the ball.
He out there really playing football, getting his yards, because some of them games he'll have 3 receptions for 160 yards. Some games he might have 8 receptions for 160. He getting it, however it comes.
Like, bro, last week, Tyreek Hill had 7 receptions. Tyreek Hill had 7 receptions, and 5 of them for 100 and what do you call it? 157 yards. He's killing the game. The Dolphins are the #1 seed in the AFC right now. Like, I don't understand how they're looking for somebody. They're looking for a quarterback to step up to give the award, but nobody's doing it. And Tyreek Hill is.
I mean, Dak Prescott.
He has to
I
be
would look at that.
I'm looking at Dak. J-Rod not lying.
Dak and saying whoever he played.
If the Cowboys
going out the Giants prize is not going to move
beat
me.
the Eagles this Sunday, if the Cowboys beat the Eagles this Sunday, he's going to shoot.
He's the #1 guy. He's the #1 guy.
And
they lose next week, and then another quarterback comes up.
Out of all the quarterbacks, though, since everyone is real close, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts. Look at this.
Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson.
Similar touchdown. Like
they're all very close.
Yeah, similar touchdowns or whatever. But to me, most important, he just won a game without Tank Dell. Big win in Denver, who was on a win streak. CJ Stroud, if Tyreek doesn't win, is my MVP. I think if they make the playoffs, the voters might give it to the rookie. Because I think Tyreek Hill breaking the record, that's a huge narrative. That's a big thing. And is CJ Stroud having the greatest rookie season ever and taking this team to the playoffs? That's another huge narrative. When the other quarterbacks are so close, I think these narratives will push those two up.
If Tyreek Hill cannot win, if Tyreek Hill does not win the MVP after breaking 2K, then no positional player is ever going to win the MVP. If Tyreek Hill does not win it now,
it's changed into a QB award if it doesn't happen.
Positional player will ever
No,
win
I'm not cool with that. If he gets 2K,
okay, the last time, fellas,
Manny, you just need to worry about Brock Purdy winning MVP, bro. That shit gonna hit like crack. It's gonna hit like crack. Bet 100 on it. Bet 100 on it. Bet 100 on it.
Randy Moss broke it. They never watched it.
Bet 100 on it.
Stay 10
Bet 100 on it.
How about this?
Bet 100 on it. Bet 100 on it.
Okay. I'll bet 100 with you. That Brock Purdy, because I said Tyreek, if Tyreek hits 2K, I said he was gonna win it. I did say that.
If Brock, so you're saying
if Tyreek doesn't win it, if Tyreek doesn't win hitting 2K,
bet 100.
I'll bet you Brock Purdy wins.
Bet 100. Bet 100 on it. Bet 100.
Hold up.
That's free. That's free money.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not part of it.
That's free bread.
105-41.
I will say this.
Now I'm watching these games. Playing Tariq don't get 2,000.
Okay.
God
damn.
Love it.
What I'm saying. The last time a position
this 100 about to be too easy. It's 100 too easy.
Fellas, the last time a position player won, it literally took Adrian Peterson putting the state of Minnesota on his back.
In every way.
And every single way. And he won. And the only reason he had a chance to be all-time leading rusher for a season. And he said, no, I'm gonna take my team to the playoffs. And that was it. That's the last time. And that's legitimately something almost nobody ever done before. If Tyreek Hill does not win it now,
he had 32 touchdowns though.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. And if you're saying that breaking a record that nobody's ever done before does not win a positional player the MVP, then no other positional player will ever win MVP.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my thing with this situation as of right now, to kind of go with my logic, because like a couple weeks ago, I was one of those people who said I'm not really seeing it, especially considering Jalen Hurts was still winning games, being clutch. The loss is big because my biggest selling point, obviously being clutch, is they're about to like go the entire season losing one game. And as of right now, they lost another game. It's possible they could lose another game. So that record is the biggest case for Hurts, and the other quarterbacks I just don't think are playing well enough to capture the audience to the point where you're going to vote for them for MVP. My thing with Tyreek Hill right now and the Dolphins right now is one, Random mentioned it. It's not like Tyreek Hill is playing amazing and the Dolphins aren't doing anything. They are the #1 seed in the AFC right now. And that's in large part due to Tyreek Hill. Another aspect, if we're talking about big
the #1 seed, where? What up? The Ravens
in the AFC?
No,
but another
#1.
Yeah, another big thing about this conversation. Another big thing about this conversation, since you mentioned that Dak could lead the case beating the Eagles, is the Dolphins play both the Cowboys and the Ravens. If they beat both those teams and Tyreek Hill does business on top of having arguably the greatest wide receiver season of all time and breaking a record, he has everything he needs to win MVP. Record, competition, greatest season of all time, and a record. He has everything he needs. So at this point, there's really no reason not to give it to Tyreek Hill because, like we've been saying, there's no other quarterback that's.
I mean, do you have any love for Dak Prescott getting it? I mean, he's
Dak's playing well, but he's not having like a generational season.
Wait, can I say something about Dak too? The first 4 games from Dak were, not good. When we're talking about like MVP level performance,
Right,
they weren't
right,
good. So he's not ahead of the pack. Yes, he's had a great stretch. My thing is these 5 games are 100% dependent on Dak Prescott's MVP case. If he doesn't go out there and at least ball out and have over a 500 record, at least 3-2, and he has to beat the Eagles, they're not giving it to him. No shot. And I will say, because I expect Brock Purdy to ball out for the rest of the season. If Dak Prescott doesn't win those games, then I have Brock Purdy over him just because of what I'm looking as the award. You can't give it to Dak if he doesn't show out against good teams. The only decent team they've beaten is the Seahawks.
It does say something that he's played. I'm looking at his last 5 games: the Seahawks, the Commanders, the Panthers, the Giants, and then they lost to the Eagles. They played legitimately the worst teams in professional football.
A lot of the worst teams, yeah.
So I'm not going to see. You're not moving me with those wins to give him even high odds for the MVP.
Yeah, no. If he beats the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins, and then the Lions.
No, he beat the
yeah, those games.
What's his record, Lonnie? Run them off. What's the rest of his games?
He plays the Eagles, then the Bills, then the Dolphins, then the Lions, then the Commanders. If he wins the next 4,
get at least 10 more touchdowns and all them wins, MVP that man.
No, yeah.
Okay,
if he wins the next 4, give it to him. If he wins the next 4, give it to him. Or if he goes 3-1, maybe.
If he goes undefeated and balls out, then
if he loses this week,
that man.
If he loses,
I think he can't lose to the Eagles.
I also gotta say this though, y'all. You know, I will say this though. I gotta say this too. Like, I'm gonna be honest. You may not want to hear this because I definitely don't believe in head-to-head matchups when determining the MVP trophy. I'm gonna be honest. I know everybody might be off the Eagles because of the way they got Trent, but they still 10-2. And if they win the rest of their schedule out, I think
Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
I think Jalen Hurts going back. I mean, they're 10-2, bro. Like, he was the leader just because of one loss. Like, I mean, guys, the rest of their season, they beat the Cowboys at home. The rest of their season is Seattle, New York, Arizona, New York. I think they win out. So you beat the Cowboys.
We off that train.
He could pad his stats.
One game.
Yeah, I think he still has
He's still in the shot, bro. That's not true. You can't be off the train all the while. We was on that train last week. It changed because of one game.
I wasn't on that train.
I wasn't on that.
See, this is the disingenuous stuff I don't like.
We wasn't on that shit.
I wasn't on that shit.
I'm not talking about you, man.
We was never going that way, man.
You already lost $100. You're done. You're done.
Bro, if Purdy wins out, he's winning the MVP.
He's not on God. He's not. Go ahead.
He's not.
Don't put that on God.
I'm not on God. I'll put on God.
Y'all don't want Purdy to win the MVP out here.
He's not going to win the MVP because he's not the MVP on his own football team. Let's be honest.
Quarterback award, what?
I'm gonna be talking
next.
No,
hold on. If you want to talk, y'all want to talk about records. You was the same dude talking to me about history. Did Christian McCaffrey not break a record this year?
That's what I said.
Most consecutive touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh, so if we want to talk about history, something that ain't been done, anomalies, that's more of a case, I think, than his own quarterback.
History. He is the first white running back to lead the league in rushing. Like that's not.
That's not.
You know that happened like in the 1950s.
That's also not true.
No, that's not. It was 2014. Peyton Hillis.
Don't say. Do not forget.
That's
Peyton
Hillis.
Or 2012. 2012. My problem.
Did he lead? I don't know if he led though.
Go ahead, Trent.
Yeah, talking about the MVP.
We're just talking about the MVP race, but I do want to get into another topic. So if you want to have one more thing, chime in because after that, I
want to say that to me, the MVP is Reek, and to me, kind of clearly. But if it's a non-QB, if it's not receiver, to me, it's that. But Jalen Hurts still has a huge chance because their schedule.
Beat the Cowboys. You can short up.
No, you understand. Dak has been wilding, and if they beat the Eagles, that shit might be at his crib if Reek don't hit.
Them Cowboy fans are losing the Eagles. As y'all say stuff like this,
on the Panthers.
Okay, Bama, you understand. Cowboy fans are bugging, but their QB is playing elite this year.
Nah, he's playing well, bro.
The Eagles, that MVP is at his career, bro. If Tariq doesn't hit 2K,
no way.
We're gonna go.
I don't disagree with Trent. I don't disagree with Trent at all.
Nobody better than that. Nobody had a better defense than us. We're gonna go undefeated. This is gonna roll into next year. We're gonna win the next 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah, but Trent, like we agreed, like if he wins the next 4. Give it to him, but like him balling on the Giants, the Commanders, the Panthers.
You said inside his crib, they could easily lose to the Bills the next week. They could easily lose the Bills the next week. If they beat the Eagles, so he's the number 1 odds, and they lose the Bills next week. Now what are we talking about?
Okay, so look, if they put it like this, if they beat the Eagles and then what? They beat the Bills because they can still beat the Bills for sure. They can
Oh
beat
yeah, the Bills are very
beat. No, they can beat all these teams. I'm saying
they're a better team.
So wait, so
I'm not gonna believe it. Say that for every team in the NFL.
But why? But I don't understand.
I'm with you, Trent. You're not saying nothing that's crazy, bro. You're not.
Of Dak winning MVP.
No, it's not crazy, but it's like
it's not crazy.
It's not premature either.
Because if we keep it, what's really saving Jalen Hurts' MVP case is the record in the fourth quarters. If he wasn't clutching these quarters, we wouldn't be talking about
what's making Dak's case? Him beating up on the worst teams in the league?
Because Dak is playing phenomenal football
against the worst teams in the league.
But that game against the Seahawks was good, bro.
Yeah, the Seahawks is their best win.
Okay,
Seahawks are in the playoffs right now, by the way.
Hold on, y'all.
Every 2010 Peyton did not lead the league. Respect Aaron Foster, 1,600 yards.
Yeah, respect Aaron Foster. Respect him. No cap.
Yeah, I don't think
not 2010. I thought it was 2012 though.
No, 2010.
Every MVP.
At
some point, every MVP beat up on weak schedules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These next four games are going to define his MVP case.
The Eagles just did it last year, and Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt. He would have won MVP, and they ain't played that many crazy teams.
What was their record? Didn't they lose only like 2 games?
But I'm saying their
schedule. No, we're Trent saying their schedule was not a juggernaut. They didn't have a juggernaut schedule.
Schedule all as a whole last year was weak as hell.
Yeah, I don't think the NFC was that good that year.
And then we talking about Jalen when we was talking about Jalen Hurts almost MVP last year, he didn't get hurt.
I think
Dak has a case. I'm with you, Trent. I think Dak has a case. I think Dak has a real case.
If we're talking about who's been playing the best football as a quarterback, you're not telling me Dak not in that top five.
Wait.
Yeah, but I still don't have him in front of Jalen right now.
You're not telling me he's in the top 3.
Wait. I'm making this sure. I'm not adding anything to this analysis because, frankly, I don't even want to speak on it. You guys are saying good points.
You don't want to jinx it. You don't want to jinx it.
No, it's not that I don't want to jinx it because, honestly, if he earns it, he earns it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But to me, look, for people that are hating on Dak Prescott right now that say he should win the MVP, not saying anyone on this panel is. I'm talking about just people in the chat. When you view Dak Prescott this season, just take the star off his helmet, man. Because this dude has been doing so much in his career. He's a good dude, okay? Like, don't hate the guy, okay? He's been
I'm not going to hold you, Michael. Dak Prescott is MVP. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live in that world.
Well, you'll live in Brock Purdy.
I'm not saying he's going to win it. All I'm saying is, guys, just don't overly hate on the man.
Yeah,
this is a dude that no one expected to be here. No one expected him to be this good in college. Nobody.
We are not doing this. We are not doing this. No. Don't give me this sob story, bro.
Go ahead.
I'm not giving him a sob story.
Finish, Michael. I'm muting. Finish.
That's all my point. Every time I say a pro Cowboys take, you take it off the wagon because you've heard a ton of Cowboys fans say the same shit. All I'm saying is just give him a fair shot. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not, and you already heard my take on Dak. I don't think that the MVP is solidified right now. The next 5 games are considerable. They're very considerable. He needs to do well, but just give him a fair shot, guys. That's all I'm saying. He deserves it this year. He's playing great. He's playing the best football of his career and one of the best quarterback play, regardless of the beat up of bad teams or not. Every MVP beats up on bad teams.
Michael, actually, I agree with you. He's balling out. Oh, side note, he's also on my fantasy team in that by any means league, which I'm number 1 in. Trent's dead last.
Yeah.
If he balls out, he balls out. Like I said, like his MVP case for me is these next 4 games, how he performs. Like I feel like he's like top 3, top 4 right now in the MVP case. That's not a stretch.
Who you pay? Who you pay, bro? Who you pay for that, J-Rob?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Nah, bro, but it's just like because we want to
crazy.
Hold up, Jessica, she was on the panel too. I was one. Oh, that's crazy. You
because bro, what's his name, bro? Because y'all wasn't saying. Wait, Lonnie, was you bringing up?
Yeah.
Wait, Lonnie, let me ask you. Was you bringing up schedule when Tua was in the front runner for MVP? When it was.
I didn't have him. I didn't have him as a front runner. I didn't have him as a front runner.
I feel like when we get to Dak, bro, I feel like the hate kind of be on this.
So me saying like he's number 3 or 4 has been crazy. I got Reek. I got hurt.
I'm paying for that.
I got Reek and then I got hurt. So him being number 3 or 4.
Nah, they just know what's up. They know what's up, Mr.
I was top dog on the panel. Now you move me to second because of J-Rob?
They know
I'm not up there.
What?
Yo, I'm crying. They know what it is. I already knew I was number 1, but Now you added plus 10 confidence on my stats right now. Plus 10 confidence added.
I see J-Rob been losing a little weight. You know, I see it getting a little
more.
I see you though.
Yeah, I'm losing weight. You feel me? You know, trying to turn into Jay Sexy, man. You know how the vibes are. All right, let me get to these super chats though. Let me go to these super chats. All this to get put out by Miami in week 18.
They were talking about the Bills.
Shout out to Prodigy, man. Waddle had 100 catches and 1,000 yards before Hill got there.
And you
Is Khalil Mack a top pass rusher again? I mean, he might be top 10, number 10 round.
Nah.
I don't know.
Hey, what was I saying about Jalen Waddle?
I was just saying that because we were talking about elite receivers and like having two elite. It wasn't like a big deal. He was just saying that Waddle was good before Tree got there. We were trying to say that Smitty was good before AJ got there.
Yeah.
Sexiest panelist. Shout out to Jessica with the $2 CAD. J-Rob, Jalen, Zay, sexiest panelist. Let's get it. You already know the vibes. J-Rob.
Who the hell is Zay?
All right, now let me ask y'all a question because this is a player that I had a lot of potential in. I believed in his arm talent. He had some games this year that he was really disappointed me, but I kept the faith because, he was one of the first draft scouts I ever did. I compared his throwing ability to a Deshaun Watson. As you can see, that elite arm talent is showing what it could be. Love is in the air, fellas. Love is in the air. Baby Rodgers is in the air. Baby Rodgers is in the air right now.
Baby Rodgers now.
Baby Rodgers is in the air. So I just want to ask, what was your thoughts on Jordan Love's performance against the Chiefs? And have the Packers found their franchise quarterback? Go Manny.
Whoa, J-Rob. Come back. Because I could have sworn you hating ass Trent. That's your name, Trent. Hating ass Trent. And I want to say G-Baby too. Find that tape, y'all. Listen. Your boy, I got 100 right now. If you can find that tape when we talk about Jordan Love, 100 till you cash.
I was ripping them up. I said that.
They need to get somebody else like a Michael Penix or a Jaden McDaniels.
No. That's not what I was saying. That's not what that's what maybe one of them said. What I was saying was because he's a player that is in his fourth year, compared to other players, his growing pains are going to be less tolerated than that of other players because he's a fourth-year quarterback. Now I understand that he's young
with nothing.
But early, I remember you said that, and early I also said to you that I said on the thing that I've been high on Jay. If anybody heard me talk about Jordan Love before early, they know where I stood on him. I always had faith in him. But at that time, early, you can only go by what you putting out on tape. That's all I could watch. That all 22, man.
So if you was watching the tape, you watched this old line be bad.
I never questioned his arm talent.
Once Christian Watson got back, it got real.
This is the thing. I never questioned his arm talent. I never questioned his ability to play the quarterback. But at the end of the day, you play for an organization that has expectations. There were some games where he did not play well as a sole quarterback. I understand he was missing pieces, but that still is the case. But hey, this is what he's doing right now. And didn't we have a show on Press Box? Hold on. Did we not have a show on the Press Box where we said which second-year starting quarterback that we believe was going to have the best showing? It was between Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, and Jordan Love. And I specifically said that I think Jordan Love is going to be the guy. So chill out. I'm one of those players, unlike you early, that when one of my guys plays bad, I don't put brown paper bags over my face. I just say, buddy, play bad.
Me and Brock Purdy. So, Trent is a Giants fan. He should wear trash bag every day.
Wait, I
There's
the GOAT Tommy DeVito. What are you talking about?
Early.
Yeah, name it.
Early got one win, man.
Early got a
Panthers fan talking. Crazy Panthers.
And you a Panthers fan? What are you, Early?
Can I go?
You're going with 3, 4, 5.
Go ahead, man.
Y'all don't got a first round pick.
All right. What I was gonna say, man, these last couple games, man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Jordan Love has been playing. He's been playing really, really good football, man. I'm not gonna lie. He's been making really good reads. The Packers have been opening up. I see more. The offense, they got Christian Watson.
Do you see how he throw the ball, man? It's so beautiful,
bro. I don't care.
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right,
No, it is
all good.
W
All right.
plays.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? You straight?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
J-Rob ready to clip that.
Bro, but this
Can I
is
ask about
talking
Jordan
about W Glaze.
Hey, go ahead.
Not about Jordan Love.
Nah, but Jordan Love has been playing great. Yeah, but I want people got to realize he's doing this with, I believe, not a number one receiver on his team at all. I don't think he. You think Christian Watson's number one? You think he's the number one?
I think he can be for sure.
I think he can be.
He's not there yet.
He's always hurt. To me, he's always hurt.
You know what I actually like more than Christian Watson and Romeo? I think Jaden Reed is the best.
That's cool. And another thing I'm gonna say, bro, they're the youngest team in the NFL.
By far, it's
the
not
youngest
close.
team in the NFL.
By far, yeah.
And this is by the way they're playing, they got time. They had to get time in these next couple games. If they keep balling the way they're balling, they're going to the playoffs, bro.
They're in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And then to piggyback off that, man, first off, they're gonna make the playoffs because that back half of the schedule is super weak. Like they're making the playoffs. But
I ain't gonna lie, man. Jordan Love might have better. He might have a better,
Don't say something crazy. Don't say something crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Early because then
I just want to.
Mahomes early.
Early stop.
They say he has better weapons.
Man, he got around Rodgers for 4 years.
Let her finish.
I just want to see him just keep playing like that moving forward because them up and downs and them downs are really down because because I ain't gonna call you a front runner, but you kind of are for real because when Jordan Love was really down, you was a brown paper bag not saying the word about buddy.
Wait, also,
Bob Purdy.
Nah, I'm just saying though.
Schedule's pretty easy.
It's been up and down him. Shout out for him playing with he played good this last game, bro. And I just feel like, and plus, ain't Aaron Jones out too?
Yeah, he's out for the rest of the year. He's out for the rest of the year.
He's been out though. Dylan been cooking.
Yeah, he been out. Yeah, I'm saying I will probably soon. They're gonna give him.
Dylan been cooking.
Yeah. Hey, J-Rob, this is what they're gonna do.
Have you been watching him play football? Come on.
They're gonna give him
73 touchdowns. I'll take it.
273 touchdowns. The Packers though. Hey, Rashawn Gary.
That's my guy. That's my guy, New Jersey legend.
He is really that is really him. That's a
no.
That's a top 10 pass rusher.
Top 6.
What's the Mo Bowles husband name? Owens.
That
nigga Owens is light stat, Slim.
He's nice too.
Did y'all already talk about the other team? You already talked about the Chiefs. I was like,
we did.
Because I was
Wait, I'd like to say something about J Love. Then I'll let Random go. I'm gonna keep this very short. Always like J Love coming out of college. Same stuff that Early talks about. I saw maybe wasn't as high like comparing him to those guys because I just wasn't sure in context, but I thought he had a really good arm. Good accuracy. My thing is he's played great. I think Christian Watson coming in injured also really, really shot his level of play at the beginning of the season when he came back, which didn't help. The offensive line hasn't looked very great, and I think Jordan Love, all I want to see is just him become an NFL passer. Just make those reads, make those progressions. If he can do that, he's going to be a guy. There's no question to me. So I'm not too hard to on him right now. I'm high 5 years.
He might sneak MVP.
I'll say this. I will say this. I understand that he's playing well right now.
Oh my god!
And I gotta just straight sidestep what Early just said. But remember, there was a reason why the Packers declined his 5th-year option. There was a reason, and they gave him a 2-year extension, so he's basically making around $10 million a year, right? Mm-hmm. So they still have time. He's still gonna be making. He's still not gonna be making that much money, so they have time to still build the team around him. But remember, they still have. I still think they're very cautious, and obviously this is going to be great. And I get if there's the end of the season is that good, but then if we're still asking the same questions we were asking at the start of the season again next year. That's why the Packers are so. That's why the Packers have made the moves that they have to protect themselves, just in case. And it looks like they're ready, just in case something happens or a better option comes up. They're like, "Hey, man, J Love, thank you for everything that you've done, but we can't deny this." And it looks like they gave themselves a very easy out.
I just want to show y'all something, man.
Just and so who was that player?
Just so y'all know, John Robinson really saw J Love before J Love, man. The scout.
Deshaun Watson. They legitimately signed him to a contract. You can say it's same cap. If they believed in him, drink more water. If they believed in J Love, they would have paid him, but they didn't.
But random.
4 years ago, man. 4 years ago, man. I saw this coming early, man. You already know. I already knew. You know, I got the receipt. You know, I said after, you know, he had a little marijuana incident. You know, he was at the Mount High Club, and now he's smoking a little Zaza runs. Now he's smoking a little Zaza runs. Now his mind
now it's legal.
Packers legitimately did it.
We was legal back then.
J-Rob, let me talk to. Drink more water. The Packers legitimately did it with Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers said 3 years after that first year, what they do? They paid him the money. They paid him the money. They had
year. This is his first year.
Wait, hold on.
No, Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years early, and they still paid him.
Fellas, shut up for. Be quiet real quick. I need to just see what this audio sounded like because it might be the StreamYard.
Oh, we broke.
No, the audio's a little bit cooked.
Early ain't broke. I ain't never been broke. Nah, come on now.
Check 1, 2.
Oh, put that on me.
Could be a StreamYard thing. I don't know. StreamYard been acting up.
It's the StreamYard chat. It might be a little different, but go ahead. All right, go ahead.
So this is what I'm saying. Look, drink more water. If Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years,
I think Wi-Fi just be cooked.
Yeah, at the end of the 3 years, they were like, "This dude is different." The Packers were like, "This dude is different," and they gave him the money.
When did they pay him? When did they pay him though, J-Rob? I'm sorry, Random. When did they pay him?
They paid him when it was time. They paid him when it was time to pay him.
After his first year starting. This is Jordan Love's first whole year starting.
And there was without a shadow of a doubt that Aaron Rodgers was their guy. There's still a doubt here. That's why
they paid Jordan Love at the end of the offseason.
Early. They waited one more year. They gave him 4 years to sit behind, and they declined his option. Look at the move that the Packers have made.
Because after 3 years, Aaron Rodgers got to play. What we talking about?
No. They knew. They shipped Brett Favre out the door. For Aaron Rodgers.
They shipped Brett Favre out the door because Brett Favre was starting to look like ass. Aaron Rodgers was still looking good.
Okay. Oh my God. We're just gonna pretend like Brett wasn't in the NFC Championship game. His last season with the Packers.
Okay. Let's have some fun. Because let's see if you know football. Because when he went to the Jets, the very first team he left at the Packers, he was ass. It took 2 years after that for him to go to the NFC Championship game.
Stop. Early. No, I'm not cooked. Early. They just had a quarterback who took him to the NFC Championship game. And they still felt so confident that they let him go. You're just lying right now. You're just lying and screaming. You're just lying and screaming. They still let him go. They still let him go early. That's legitimately what happened, bro. That's legitimately what happened.
He wasn't playing well, and when he went to the Jets after that random
they believe in Aaron Rodgers enough. They let him go.
He got his mojo back with the mic.
They let him go for A-Rod, bro. They let him go for A-Rod.
Wait. So something I'd like to add to
this. They had one more year, and they still declined his option. They still declined his option. That legitimately happened. You're getting mad at me for what the Packers did. Go read the goddamn website. You see for yourself.
Damn, bro. I really could only imagine how y'all gonna act at Christmas dinner this year. Can y'all be nice to each other at Christmas dinner this year?
My thing is this. You're saying this is different though. What I'm saying to you is that
Michael, just one time. Let's say it one time. Wait a minute. It's my turn.
Facts.
Well, I can't even because Early's gonna scream over me. Fucking regardless, Jesus Christ. Either way, all I'm saying is random. I get your points. They make sense how they haven't. They declined his option. This isn't that. All right. He's had how many NFL starts? And I'm not sitting here saying that we should bank on him as a player in one game. But when I look at what GMs look for in a guy that could be a franchise guy, yes, they have to make decision quickly. I'm not saying the Packers are going to be some threat. But when you look at a team like the Chiefs, a defense like the Chiefs, he went in there and he balled the F out in that game. That was I'm just saying he balled out for the context of his weapons, his O-line, his run game versus the Chiefs defense. He played a very great game. So I think that the Packers are probably going to buy into him. Unless he has a couple of bad games at the end of the season, I just don't see why they would move on from him. I know he played horrible. In a lot of those games, he didn't play horrible.
Yo, Michael,
he wasn't unplayable by any means.
Can I ask you a question, Michael? Would you be willing to put that potential investment, same way, i.e., like the Giants and Daniel Jones and Jordan Love? Would you take that risk and jump off the cliff?
Okay, so this is why. So I don't want to.
I would. I ain't gonna lie.
The original question is would I. So you're asking me would I?
I'm not mad at it.
Like, would you? Because after this season, I'm assuming after this season they gotta decide if they're gonna keep him, right? Money wise.
So, okay, so you're saying
I thought it was they signed him to a 2-year extension.
Yeah,
they signed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you think you would extend? Would you lock him up? Because I would assume after the season ends, he'll have the back half of that contract, right? So Michael, my question to you is: would you extend him after the season and lock him up for the next 5 years based on what you're seeing so far?
Yes,
they will.
So there's a lot of nuance to that question. I think, if he's asking for 40 like Daniel Jones was, and that's what he gets, I might just be with random. That's a lot of money. Like that's the amount that Dak makes, and we see how that kind of hinders their team successfully. Now 25-30, I'm all in on a year for Jordan Love. Like quarterbacks are getting paid, so to me. I'm all in if it's that. To me, I think it's a little different from Daniel Jones, number one, because I just see a lot more talent and I just see more accuracy. That's the thing. Daniel Jones never had no accuracy, and honestly, within the first 2 or 3 years, like
what else was wrong with him? What else was wrong with him?
There's so many things.
Like we get it. Daniel Jones sucks.
Like, but I don't have to.
Nah. Y'all gave me all that. Y'all gave me all that heat when I said they should have just franchise tagged him. No, but y'all
I never gave you any heat. I never said
y'all let the Mannings walk in there and convince y'all. Now look at y'all paying $40 million.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop letting the Mannings come there and run.
You're talking to Meek. Meek was the only one trying to cap for Daniel Jones, bro. Like, no.
And I said at that moment,
I heard Trent say some stuff too. That's all I heard.
I don't remember.
I'm not gonna lie, Random. You the last.
So my thing is right there.
Because I don't want to say this truth about Daniel Jones, and you got mad at me.
I'm saying you're the last person to talk about caping for quarterbacks that haven't played good, bro. Please move it on. Please.
So Brock Purdy is better than anything Daniel Jones.
I didn't say about Brock Purdy.
100% facts.
You think about Mac Jones, gang. The only person who should only cape for Mac Jones.
Oh, you talking about the guy who had a defensive coordinator calling his plays?
Yeah, Joe Judge. What's your point?
Joe Judge wasn't calling his plays. Joe Judge wasn't teaching him how to play quarterback for a whole season.
We had
Joe Judge. Just the head coach.
We had Joe Judge.
I remember Joe Judge at an OC. I remember Joe Judge at an OC.
No, not early. I'm not caping, but no, I'm saying early. I mean, Randall's the last person to cape for bad quarterbacks. And
all I've said is the truth. All I've said is the truth. All I've said is the truth about Mac Jones.
Bro, it's okay. Y'all gonna get Jaden Daniels. Y'all gonna be all right.
Facts. Yes, sir.
Yo, if the Giants get Jaden Daniels,
I'm gonna let y'all know.
J-Rob.
If y'all don't draft him, he's gonna be a New York Jet. He's gonna be a New York Jet.
He's gonna be a Saint.
They still gotta pay Daniel Jones.
We're getting Jaden Daniels, bro. We locked in.
J-Rob, they still gotta pay. They still gotta pay Daniel Jones $40 million.
I don't care. We still getting Jaden Daniels. I don't care.
You're never getting off that.
Let me ask y'all this question. Should the
mess around and get Bo Nix?
Can I ask y'all a question about the Steelers? Should the Steelers move heaven and earth to try to get one of these quarterbacks in this draft?
Hell no.
Yo,
okay. It depends on what you mean by heaven and earth. Like,
so like if you gotta give up, let's say their goal is to go get. I'm not gonna say Michael Penix because if they're gonna do this, they need to go try to get. I'm thinking a McCarthy, a Penix, a Drake May, a Jaden Daniels. So if you're trying to get one of them guys, right, and you got to give up maybe your second round this year, maybe swap positions in the first next year. Heaven and earth doesn't have to be a 49ers mortgage your entire future.
Right. Yeah.
Heaven and earth, like day of the draft. Look, I'll give you maybe Najee Harris, this and this. Can I move up to your spot to pick up a quarterback? Because I'm gonna be honest, to me, when I look at this Steelers organization, fellas, they are hard capped at this position. If they don't go and finally get a guy who is somewhat really dynamic,
and they got
I personally think they'll never go anywhere fast because realistically, I look at Kenny Pickett. No offense to him because where he was drafted at, he was in a bad class and he was the best guy in a bad class. And I just don't know if I'm willing to put in 2 more years of this. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you have Deontay Johnson and George Pickens, and I understand fire Matt Canada, but fellas, the last time I seen them play, they scored 13 points without him. So it ain't like there's nothing. nothing getting done on the
They're not. They're definitely
there ain't no chance. And I just think it's the personnel at the position.
Gerald,
that's why I don't want Jaden to go there, man.
If they don't draft a quarterback, it's gonna be like a who's the NBA? Who's like a coach that got fired when they had a winning record?
Dwayne Casey. Mark Jackson. Dwayne Casey.
Dwayne Casey's the best.
Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year and got fired.
That's crazy. He has like the number one team with the Raptors.
Mike Budenholzer.
They're gonna keep being mediocre, and then they can't get it for help, and they're gonna finally fire Mike Tomlin if they don't get the quarterback.
Because they need to lose. They got to lose games, bro. They need a high pick.
It doesn't matter. You get a quarterback in the late.
Fire Mike Tomlin, and then Bill Belichick can retire, and we can take him.
Mike Tomlin might have been carried, but hold on, let me get to these super chats real quick, y'all, so we don't forget.
If they fire Mike Tomlin, come to Carolina.
Come to New England.
All these rookies are getting love, but no one is talking about Sam Laporta. He has a chance. To break the rookie tight end record. He's 300. Nah, he's been balling. Shout out to Sam Laporta.
This rookie class of tight ends have been balling.
Like Trey
McBride's been balling.
Hey, Travis Kelce.
I like Trey McBride is a nice.
Travis Kelce / George Kittle coming in next year, and he about to take it over.
Brock Bowers is going to take over. Yeah, Giants can't get off the. Giants can get off that Jones contract after next year. Kirk Cousins is either going to be a Patriot or Steeler next year.
Definitely not a Patriot.
Question for everybody. I think Minnesota keeps him. Watching Josh Dobbs.
Real quick. Question for
I think they keep him too.
Question for everybody.
I think you keep Dobbs and you keep Cousins, bro. I think you keep both of them in the building, bro. Honestly.
I agree.
One thing I want to say
real quick, Michael. Real quick. I just want to know, like, based off this rookie class, where do you guys think it might end up ranking all time? Because we have some ball. We have C.J. Stroud. We have Puka, Tank Dell.
See, I would do that, but I've learned my lesson no longer to do that because I look back at the Trevor Lawrence draft class, and I thought Trevor Lawrence, Jay Fields. I even thought Trey Lance. I thought them boys was gonna come in, tear the league up. That draft looking like what's supposed to be. The problem is with the quarterback.
When that Zach Wilson draft, you
never know.
Zach Wilson draft as well. Like the problem with the quarterback position line, they miss more on quarterbacks than they actually.
I'm just talking about the draft as a whole, like because we have a lot of playmakers that are like balling this year.
I
think this draft coming up gonna be better.
Lonnie, you know what you need to do?
You gotta see first. I gotta see first.
Lonnie, you gotta ask that question probably next year.
Yeah, you gotta. I gotta see first. And actually, you know what I want to ask my boy over here with the Ravens stuff behind him, since we was talking about Tomlin going to the Panthers. What do you think about Frank getting fired? What, 12 games into the year? Was that fair? Was that a fair firing?
Man, don't ask this nigga nothing, man. I'm tired of this nigga talk about the fucking
Super
Panthers,
fair. Here's the reason
why.
You
a Panthers hater. You a liar. You was hired by Shaq to come here and torment me all year about Bryce Young, bro. But it's all right, bro, because I told y'all, bro, this is a seed that's going to grow in the 2 to 3 years, you fucking hater. And you going to come back on here and be like,
chalk up the next 15 minutes.
Grows into the 3 years.
You know what I was wrong. You know what I was wrong.
Yeah,
wait. When y'all hoisted up that Lombardi trophy,
oh my God,
winners of the NFC South, winners of the NFC. When y'all hoisted that up, I want you to come in here with a Bryce Young jersey on.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
I want you to wear a Bryce Young Bama jersey.
I never heard anything.
Shut up.
I never heard anything.
Can I say this, Bama? Can I say this? First and foremost, Bama, I hope his knee surgery goes through well and he gains 3 inches like he wants. First and foremost, here's the thing about Frank Reich.
Oh, he got the surgery? He got the surgery to get the inches?
He got the surgery.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Frank Reich.
He said, yeah.
It ain't just about the fact that we had a terrible record this year. It's the way he was coaching the team. The team, like, he lost the team. Same way Josh McDaniels did. Like, he lost the team. He had been lost the team. Like, you can't keep a coach on and draw that out.
When you kept Steve Wilkes, man. Should have kept Steve Wilkes, man.
I agree, but do you think he lost the team or is the disconnect with the quarterback?
I think it's a disconnect with the owner. No, it's the disconnect with the owner. It's David.
Him too. Yeah.
Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud.
Nah, that chat got me crying. He's funny as hell.
Tepper was the only one who wanted Bryce Young in the building.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Remember, Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud. Don't forget that.
Fact.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
You know what?
Frank Reich, David Tepper came into that locker room cursing up a storm because I know that report came where he was dropping hella. Yeah. He came in there doing all of that, and Frank Reich probably was like, "Mother effer, I wanted the quarterback in Houston. This is your fault," and he got fired that night.
If Jerry Richardson wasn't touching people, damn.
And I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. This is what the problem is, though. This was the problem. You gotta stop. We gotta stop these coaches. See, like Nico Ryan, he got CJ. He ain't started pouting. He just did his job. Got to coaching. You can't be up there talking about if I had this, have that.
Wait. Can I add to that, J-Rob?
Yeah, the Panthers, honestly, the Panthers, if you really think about it, like last year, what they were doing with mostly like Sam Darnold and even PJ Walker, they were winning games. The run game was cooking because Deontay Foreman was cooking, obviously, and then obviously they had
Mookie
Jones still there. The fact that the Panthers gave up DJ Moore, complained about not having a number one option, and then replaced Deontay Foreman and what that running game was doing with Miles Sanders, bro, the dude doesn't know what he's doing, bro. This team is not good because of his moves, and it's terrible because this defense is supposed to be carrying, and the defense hasn't even been doing what they're supposed to be doing. So yeah, the Panthers.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, Matt.
Real quickly, I also about. Look. We can give the owner as much flack as we want, and I'm all for that because I hate Jerry Jones too. So screw that guy. But Frank Reich knew what he was coming into. He knew that dude's an idiot. He took the job and he decided to make it toxic. At the end of the day, if you want to keep your job in the NFL, you can't go crying and screaming about the fact that they chose. I wouldn't say
he knew he was an idiot. He only been an owner for like 2 years. Like
and the team before that was good, Michael. Like the team before that was a good team. Like they were a competitive team. That's why everybody here thought they were going to be a playoff team purely because of how good they were last year.
No. And I'm not saying that I thought they were going to be trash because I didn't know. My thing though is the reason why they were decent last year is because they weren't that talented, but as a team they came together in a lot of games and they just played what football is. When you have Frank Reich, who's hard, who just lost the team because he doesn't believe in the quarterback. He's making it toxic. That diminishes your level of play so much because now all these grown ass dudes are like, I don't care. Screw this guy. I'm gonna try to go play for somewhere else. Like this is the NFL, so everything has to come together. That's my point.
Yo, so can I ask? So I got Mookie's in the chat. Mookie's here for the last 10 minutes of the show. You appreciate you sliding, Mook. So we gotta ask you a question, bro. We don't want to talk about Herb. We already know about Herb. But we do want to talk about something else that you have to talk to us about, my brother.
What?
Could you tell us, you came in, you pulled up the press box, open field, you told us it's going to be a 13-win season. Could you tell us about the New Orleans Saints? And what do you think of Chris Olave's comments about the offense? Do you think he was throwing shade at Derek Carr? What are your thoughts?
Is he still top 10?
Yes. First of all,
let him go.
Chris Olave, he don't like Derek Carr. We all know that, bro. This is the way that his effort out there, the way that he run routes. He's not even complete routes. So Chris Olave needs to check himself because, like, there's at times where you look on the film and you look at the coaches and the coaching staff call him out on his effort, his ability to run routes, not running the wrong routes and stuff like that, and dropping key passes. I mean, he needs to check himself. But I think the Saints have gave up on Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is a terrible coach, bro. He's a terrible coach. He's one of the worst coaches in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis Allen has great talent on the defensive side of the ball, great talent on the offensive side of the ball, and the fact that the Saints are, they third in the NFC South right now, or probably second in the NFC South right now. We're supposed to be better than what we are. When you look at this roster,
I think Falcons
on paper of the New Orleans Saints, this is a team where you bring it in the franchise quarterback.
Got second, Mook. Got second, Mook. Got second. Second division.
Second.
Half game above the Bucs.
I mean, listen, the Saints. This is the thing about the Saints. They gave up on Dennis Allen. This defense have not been elite. This defense have fallen off the face of the earth, man. This is supposed to be an elite level defense that the Saints have, and they've been one of the worst defense in their last 4 or 5 games in stretches, right? Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, it's no way that the Saints should be underachieving like that. And I'm gonna tell you this too. What's so good of us making the playoffs for us to lose in the first round?
No, what we're gonna do right now, if you look on the draft sheet, the Saints have a top 10 pick. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna lose almost every game as possible because we want a franchise caliber quarterback, and we're looking at Drake May. We would trade up in the draft to go get Drake May for
the Patriots.
That ain't bad. That's
okay.
So,
Wait,
no reason for us
but
to make
Mookie, I gotta ask you to put your GM hat on now. What are y'all giving up to trade up to go get Drake May? What do you want to give up for that?
Olave, first round picks.
You giving up Chris Olave?
You bugging.
You might as well give up Michael Thomas.
Olave and a first. You're doing the Panthers all over.
Olave, and you will give up Olave? What's up?
You like Drake May that much?
Yo, move. Let me ask
Drake
you.
Drake May is a generational talent.
Yo,
watch college. He's trolling.
I got a question.
Stop reacting. He's
trolling.
Trolling. Let
him rock.
Get Drake May on the Saints. He's a generational talent, ladies and gentlemen, bro. He can throw the ball. He can make our platform throws. And he's like 6'5", 6'6", or something like that, bro. I would love him on the Saints, bro. We'll fire Dennis Allen, get Dennis Allen out of there. I mean, people are going to sit there and say, well, why would the Saints tank? Because they know if Dennis Allen missed the playoffs, he's out of there. Well, I think that the Saints are going to lose any time. I think the Saints are going to lose almost every game this season, bro. They're just not good enough defense.
The Giants?
And like I said,
Even to the Giants?
No,
y'all better not lose to us. I swear to God, y'all better
not lose. We're going to beat y'all. That's the guaranteed win right there. That is a guaranteed win right there. But what I'm saying is this. I mean, bro, we tank it, bro. It is what it is.
All right. Can I say
something? Go ahead, man.
All right, Mook. Now, if I was to put my GM hat on for the Saints, this is what I would do for the Saints.
You don't want that
you got your quarterback in your own city, bro.
Yeah.
No, Manny, remember, he said he's slow. He said he's slow.
You got your own quarterback. You could bring the Heisman winner back home, bro. You could bring the Heisman winner back home to the city, and what's Jaden going to be, a top 10 pick?
Jaden Daniels.
He's going to be a 10 pick. He's going to
probably be a top. I ain't gonna lie. I personally don't think he's getting out of the top 6, bro.
Yeah, bro. So
by the time that draft
Drake may probably go top 3. So you could probably don't have to give up. You probably got to give up a talent, but you don't got to give up as much.
Bro, let's be real, bro. This quarterback draft class, bro, is mid, bro. The only quarterback that I can see that's is Drake May.
We're rolling again. We're done. I'm done. We're just wasting our time now.
Hey, move.
Bro, the only guy that's good is Caleb Williams, bro.
Remember, he said Caleb
Williams is a generational talent. How are you going to get the older guy as good as Caleb Williams?
Bro, like I said there and said, the only quarterback that I've seen that special.
He hadn't seen nobody, Chad. He hadn't seen nobody.
He doesn't think Caleb Williams is good, even though I brought him to the Discord and sat him down and watched all 22 of Caleb Williams. He still don't.
No. You didn't see the bad game. You didn't see that his eyes locked up on the wrong side of the field, and he was not reading cover 2 properly. You didn't see the poor pocket awareness.
I showed you
when the pocket.
Like he's reading
Hold on, random. J-Rob, I showed him a game where a team, aka Colorado, placed nothing but cover 2.
Colorado? Are you serious?
I don't know.
Come on, Trent.
I don't know.
And I told you to turn that shit off. Colorado is a trash defense, bro. Come on, Trent. You better than that. He's showing Colorado, bro.
He's the best coach in the country.
No. Show the game where he played terrible against what was it? I think it was like
he played one bad game.
No.
Highlight that Chris comment.
Okay, Mookie.
Let him say the team.
Mookie, I gotta be honest though. Like, every college quarterback, they're gonna play some bad ones in college. Herbert has some bad ones. He got outplayed by Jaden Daniels as a Daniels.
Herbert was trash in college. All these quarterbacks are not good in college, bro.
That Oregon is bad.
My point is to sit there and say is this, and this is why I don't put that much stock into college quarterbacks, because I got to look at their game and sit there and say, can this translate in an NFL level where there can be a starting caliber quarterback in this league? And the only quarterback that I've seen, Drake May, who is physically gifted, who can make almost every throw, on platform, in the pocket, drop back,
doesn't watch a full game.
Cannon of arm. He does have to prove in his mechanics. But Caleb Williams, bro, the man is 6 foot, 6'1", who's plays out of control.
He's just lying. He's literally reading off his Pro Football Reference page right now. That's what he's doing.
Concern for Michael Penix. Not only that, other quarterbacks as well. So, like I said, just because they're good in college,
he's lying
that don't mean they're going to translate to the NFL level, bro.
He's lying.
No, you're lying.
J-Rob,
no, you're lying.
You're
a liar.
He hasn't watched that bandana of Drake May all year. He's lying.
Bandana off, man.
He's lying.
Is Jaden Daniels still
lying?
Chill.
Yo, Mook, I got one question though.
Come on, we talking ball. You
told me this. Don't lie. Is Jaden Daniels still slow?
No, I didn't say he was slow. Listen, I said
I'm leaving. Bet me 100 right now. You ain't say that.
Yeah, I think there's a clip of that.
No. My point. Jaden McDaniels is fast, but he ain't got. This is why I sat there and said he ain't. Hold on, Jaden McDaniel, he's fast, but he ain't got that Michael Vick speed. He ain't got that Lamar Jackson speed.
He was clocked at 21 miles per hour. What are you talking about?
Speed, bro.
So
he probably running.
We're done. He's lying. He's just lying.
Burning
brains to listen to this man.
You're a cry. You're
lying. I legitimately made you throw a tantrum on gridiron, bro. Don't be hard. Don't stop.
Hey, relax.
Stop, guys.
Mookie, I got one question for you.
I muted both of y'all.
Mookie, I got one question for you.
Last question, and we wrap up the show. Last question.
Bro, y'all gotta stop. I understand y'all college football fans, bro, but stop sitting there thinking that every quarterback that's good in college is gonna translate, bro. Stop.
Literally never said that.
Hey, Mookie, I got one question for you. Is Sean Payton a bad coach?
Is he a bad coach? No, I think he's overrated, but I don't think he's a bad coach. I think people sit there and praise Sean Payton for being this offensive genius, and I've never seen once outside of playing with a top 5 quarterback all time in Drew Brees where he's actually led an elite level offense, bro.
Stop it. He makes Russell Wilson look good. Russell Wilson's overrated. That's such a lie, Mookie.
Russell Wilson is not overrated.
He throws the ball 23 times a game, Mookie. He can't throw it down the middle in the pocket consistently. Stop it with this stuff about.
All right, so let me ask you something. Is the Broncos an elite level offense?
The reason why they won 6 games in a row.
Is the Broncos an elite level offense, sir?
No.
Okay, then that's my point. My point is Sean Payton has never led no elite level offense without Drew Brees. To prove my point.
It's a waste of time. This is the same guy. He's calling out.
You really think? Everybody. You really think Sean Payton? You really think Sean Payton is that elite? Hold on. You really think Sean Payton that elite when his offense
he turned around the Broncos team.
That's what you are.
He turned around the Broncos team.
Stop it, bro. He's not an elite coach, bro.
No, you're
Michael, you have to remember his. No, Michael.
Sean Payton stand on business.
All right. Time out. We almost at our time.
All this over Sean Payton? God damn.
It's okay to be wrong.
Enough. Bro. Say your last part and then get us out and then close our show.
Sean Payton not even in the playoffs.
I was saying, so speaking of Drake May, I'm about to go live in 3 minutes with his teammate, one of the best linebackers in the country, Cedric Gray. So make sure y'all tap in.
Make sure y'all go tap in.
I say, make sure y'all tap in.
Make sure y'all go tap in. Make sure y'all go tap in with Trent. Trent dropped the link in the chat. Hey, by any means at 8:00 p.m. Did the college football playoff committee get it wrong? We will dissect that whole situation in the college football landscape. It's probably been the biggest topic in football of the year right now. So we're going to tap into that. Make sure y'all tune in to by any means at 8:00. Black Sensei Society, follow up at 9. Make sure y'all tap in with Random, Riddell, Lonnie, myself, gang, the BSS. Also,
hey,
make
Random,
sure y'all go check out your boy on Lakers Digest.
Hey, Early, put another jacket on. Your shit's showing, man. Titties.
Man, hey.